because this is the two squads. I mean, it's like we know what we're doing here with the PS5 story of the day. Earlier on, we were talking about Falcons, we were talking about Vitality, and both teams ended up showing up, especially Falcons in that first game.
Well, Falcons did show up. They did get the points. They're sitting at the top, but there's one team that got the game number one, right? Total Gaming. Now, for them to get it on the survival stage, game number one, get that booyah going on, is a right direction for not just them, but all the other Indian teams. And you just saw Tag what they did in game number two. Getting 14 eliminations, KD got surviving till the very last. That tells you the caliber that these guys are packing. And that is the reason when we were having this discussion earlier, I was like, hey, I think there is one team that's going to make it through, but it's going to be difficult. But what if both you mentioned?
I mean, it came down to KD God there towards the end. Surviving, making sure that he was just sneaky about it. Didn't go after anybody. Played out that wonderfully. And while I have you here, just in case, Lucifer, I don't get to see you here because I know you're going to be casting later on.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
It's time for you to decide. Earlier, we heard Tag saying that they were going to end up being in third place. They're currently playing like that might be the case. Is that what's going to happen? Are we going to maybe possibly end up with two Indian squads going to the finals?
Yeah, as I said, right, whether it's going to be one or two, one is what I have a high hope on. You can clearly see of how game number one went. Aztec performing. Mafia, this is something that Mafia needs to for the team. That's where the pillar stands. While Aztec might call Mafia the other end, in game number two, you ended up seeing KD God. He's the pillar for the team. These both snipers playing that game to perfection, surviving for the team, and playing the long range, especially for communication, is giving the right direction for both the teams. And I believe, as you asked the question, there is a possibility that we see, because they've read in the very first game and second game, you can clearly see they know the rotations, especially of the South Asian teams, and now they're reading even into the Southeast Asian teams that are trying to compete with them.
We'll get a chance to discuss that even more later on, but right now, that overall ranking, you can see right there in first place, Team Vitality, Team Falcons, Team Apex Gaming, and Total Gaming with that amazing performance from earlier on. Don't forget, if you're just tuning in, if you for some reason missed the beginning of the show, the top 4 teams will be moving on to the finals tomorrow. The rest, their keys will be crushed. I'm looking at 6th place because we have to shout out an outstanding performance from Shocked. He was carrying the squad.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for the first time we saw them, he was just getting all the elimination for the team. Straw Hats, this is something that we want to see, but we really didn't expect, especially on this kind of level. But you know the theme of the day right now is to survive. And, well, how are we going to survive? Take out your opponents.
Next map is Nextera, and honestly, I'm just so excited to see how it's going to be like between Vitality and, of course, Falcons, because if we're talking about rivalry, these two are very similar, and I think that is exactly what makes it interesting. Like, they have the same rotations, even drop zones. So yeah, I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen in the next map.
Well, let's see though. You're talking about the next map, Nextera. One team has been on the high right now once we are jumping in Nextera.
Yep.
I don't want to mention the name, but they're from Malaysia.
Any guesses, Conchita?
I knew it. It starts with an A, I think, and also ends with an A.
Okay.
Yeah.
Husky over there on the desk.
Yeah.
He'll be like Neptune.
Scream louder, Husky. We can't hear you. Oh, that Aurora. Thank you, Husky.
I've really got a way of like saying their name. I don't want to jinx them again. I want them to perform.
We said it for you.
Yeah, we said it for you. We got this. Don't worry about it. But there's one thing I do want to point out. We were talking about the South Asian teams, right? Just India, yes, sitting at the top for the time being. But the South Asian teams, they are also troubling the lobby. And especially one to add on is going to be DRS. They're having a really good start. And that start might mess up for some teams to close it out and to get to the top 4.
I mean, a good start, you guys, it depends on what you look at it as a good start for that squad, especially when you compare with some of the performances that we have seen from some of the other top squads. A team that's actually not having a good start, and you know what? I'm kind of disappointed with what's going on with this squad. Conchita, talk to me about Gun Dynasty.
I am so disappointed. I mean, you are not the only one, because I actually have quite a high hopes when it comes to Gun Dynasty. I mean, we've seen what they are able to do, and we are hoping and praying and crossing our fingers that somehow they can bring that spirit back. We haven't seen that yet. We don't know what is exactly happening to them now, but if we were to, analyze Neptune, what do you think is the biggest problem?
It is more of Benel just carrying the squad. Like he's always the one remaining after everyone falls in those gunfights. So if he would just be if everyone out of Gun Dynasty will be relying on Benel, then that would be the case. That will be the scenario overall. If he gets eliminated, especially in the early parts of the game where a lot of teams are still available, then he will be a target by a lot.
He is already being a target, and you could see he's been forced to use his skill, that is stealth bites, every time he has to run away just to get that revive. That tells you of how much pressure he's under. But along that lines, I think when we were talking about Gun Dynasty, the team who made it to the top from LATAM, that's going to be Lion. They are slowly picking up. Games King or Games King, I really like. This is the form I wanted to see from day one of our group stages, but it did not happen. Maybe in the survival stages, they take away the chance because day two's end, Lion were almost about to bring in. It was only the day one points missing that did not give them the top 4.
Well, let's see if it's going to be the top teams just continuing to dominate, or maybe we're going to get some surprises here. You won't see all of us until after match 4. But for now, enjoy the rest of the games because it's going to be packed with action if the previous 2 matches were anything to tell. And also, Husky, Tash Bunny, thank you so much for screaming Aurora for us.
You are welcome, my dear panelists. Yes, the sacred A word that Neptune shall not name ever since after day 1. But I have the right to say it, right? We're from Malaysia. We should be cheering for Aurora Gaming, who have picked up a pace just a little bit onto Bermuda. But there are some picking up that needs to be done for teams like Gun Dynasty, who hasn't really gotten anything going just yet. For teams, to a certain degree, I would say Team Secret, I want to see a bit more from them. Lion as well, they got to the final circle. That one was probably the best we've seen so far. But as we head into Nextera, this is where my eyes will be on Team Vitality to take it all again.
You know what's really interesting as well, when you look at this team in particular, Vitality somehow has cracked the code of not only just going for placement points, but also eliminations as well. And it feels very natural because these fights that are coming in from the beginning of the game all the way till later. It's very different than before, where they are going to be having a bit more of a quiet fight and showing their hand maybe toward the last few circles. But now they're saying, bring out all the guns, because not only do we have to make it all the way till the end, but perhaps this will also give us a big advantage to allow us to make some mistakes as we go throughout the entirety of the day. And after all, it is going to be a 10 map per day. You have to be able to survive this long, as Joel will be the one to open things up here against the Straw Hats. And the Straw Hats, this is not the start that they wanted to see.
I was just about to bring up a point that Lucifer mentioned earlier on, that the South Asian teams could really shift the tides of the round. They could be the reason why some of these teams don't finish top.
Advance the guns, because not only do us to make some mistakes, you have to be able to the Straw Hats. And the Straw Hats, this is not the start that they wanted to see.
I was just about to bring up a point that Lucifer mentioned earlier on, that the South Asian teams could really shift the tides of the round. They could be the reason why some of these teams don't finish top 4. Team Vitality, again, we say that Xterra is one of the maps, Solaris is also one of the maps that they are very skilled at. And even Neptune brought out Coach Chris Joe, definitely has more in his pockets. He has deeper pockets than we think. This Ray from Koja has been quite the menace, right? In game 1 on Kalahari, he played the usual Aurora Vision from the Koda. Now Koja, instead of the Koja Koda, we get the Koja Ray. And in a close combat situation, it is incredibly strong to use. Get them knocked out when you hit the threshold in HP. The STC replay tells us a good story as well, that Straw Hats didn't really stand a chance against Vitality.
Here comes Benel as well. He's always been the last person standing. The desk did bring him up there. How he's able or needs to make magic. He's always the last person alive. And, somehow in this situation, it feels like it's a tale as old as time. Right now, most of his team also have gone again. Now, the rest of TAG still hasn't been able to finish him out quite yet. So if things go well, if he is left alone, they could go for that reset, really hoping that his team will be able to come into game a bit stronger as well. After all, recovery is so important. Not just recovery, but also being able to stabilize. Now, the same can be said about DRS as Alu, as well as TEC, just being able to come back here. Falcons, this time around, a bit slower. Did try to take those early fights, but Straw Hats not on happen. I think they want to just take away the space and go full all in on the Falcons.
When you stir the Falcons' nest, you better be ready for retaliation. TG learned the hard way, strolling into the Lions' den, losing 2 of their members off the get-go. I think Total Gaming Esports IQ still have members lurking around.
No.
And of course, they're going to find him very quickly. Wota, the one who bailed his team out of danger the first time they met. Now we have to face off again. The P90 in hand, subpar weapon, but enough in close range. As backup comes through, unfortunately, no confirmation there. Wota perishes.
Did try to be able to secure that point before, the rest of Lion come by. Unfortunately for him, a bit too slow. The hesitation cost him there. As for the rest of the team here, the Falcons still very much online, but Vitality also joining in on the fight against the Straw Hats and them somewhere close by. You can start to see the Hornets super active, moving on the map, moving on the area, joining in whenever the sounds are super loud, when the sounds of the gunfire are here as well.
This time, Aurora Gaming playing it slightly slower around mud site. There is a potential to rotate to Decker Square if they need more time, or straight to Boxing Gym with DRS has nested in. Joe receiving some gunfire is them and Falcons. Again, even the theme of the day at the start of the show, our host pointed it out, it's going to be the battle of the Falcons and Limit this time. It's going to show Joel how it's done. Out in the open, the Retire Rhythm gets the job done pretty quickly.
But they swarm him.
Yeah. I mean, Vitality didn't really commit fully to this, right?
Yeah.
It's just a poke and prod. Lose Joel, sure. The rest of the Vitality players already out of that area. So low commitment move there. Lion be under pressure. TAG definitely want some payback after game 2.
Yeah, the Lion are really paying for it right now. Chunk down, HP so very low, and the pressure coming in from the entirety of the team is a bit
Nice
to
one.
work with. Nice shots coming in from Sahil Jat as well. Gameskin knocked down Hacks as well. Stolen away by that nade. And for the rest of the final member there, well, it's going to be Joker all alone running away with his life. This guy is good. I mean, he's able to still weigh a few points, but we want him to be able to not only bring back his team into the game, also survive as well. It's going to be a long trek for him.
It's a good time to bring up the fact that Team X Gaming, even though they haven't gotten a booyah today, but they are second in terms of, well, third in terms of the total placement points. But if you add on the accumulated elimination point, they're actually in second right now based on the system. Team Falcons getting another straggler, though that makes it 6 for them. I believe there's a rotation coming in. Straw Hats unfortunately perishes right out in the circle. Even for GD, still looking for a way back into this game. Aurora runs into Team Secret, who has been quite the challenge for them during the group stage, as Aurora are constantly haunted by Team Secret. The way that Vitality has shut down Team Secret so far.
Team Secret trying to find a nice angle here to go out there in the open, as Aurora just keep them boxed inside of the compound. But for now, it's all about trying to break down those blue walls first before coming outside. I'm worried about the choke area as well if that were to happen.
Yep.
They're now out in the open there, gonna have to take away the space from Aurora. Jun forced to move away here. They keep themselves barricaded inside. Blue walls also just strengthened up here as well. Aurora crossed through. Arjun takes a bit of chip damage. They try to rally back, but the crossfires and choke coming in from Team Secret. A bit too much to work with. And not only they get the eliminations, but also being able to bring the teammates back into the game. A great start by Team Secret on this map.
Bad an effort there, honestly, from Aurora, but unfortunately didn't expect the grenade launcher to be brought in by Team Secret, so quite the disadvantage. Aurora Gaming will have to find that reset for now. Axel bailing away. This is sort of what was written in the stars at the start of the game, looking at how Aurora Gaming chose to drop to mud side and the trajectory to the circle. There, we did speak about the possibility of them going to Boxing Gym, but instead of DRS, they find Team Secret nested there. Sort of an unfortunate situation, but not all hope is lost. Falcons now up against TG. You see utilities being tossed. They need to get on fire out of it, flush him out from his high ground. Shanky inching forward. There's a backstab angle. On fire, still hanging on well, but Shanky good on the numbers there.
Just like Kiroro is keeping a good eye out, but this time around they do not want to mess with this. Gonna let that go. Gonna just move away as well. They're super aggressive today. They're not stopping that from happening. But in this situation, you just really gotta cut your losses. Be able to just bring yourselves back into the game and then just go aggressive one more time. For TG there, Aztec got knocked down. GD this time around already 2 eliminations. I would say they're surviving a little bit longer than the previous 2 maps earlier, but definitely not the usual fire and tempo that we saw them playing in the last 2 days.
Yep. Definitely need a bit more out of GD. Both in placements and eliminations. And that's sort of the challenge you have to face as a first timer on the big stage. You come in swinging on day one, you better be able to adapt because everyone else will. And I think that is the current issue, right? Teams have sort of read the moves of GD. It's getting harder and harder for them to kind of use the same playbook.
Here we go, Rahat. That's a bit of damage now. Zayeljan somehow managing to turn things around with one singular shot.
Very good stuff from TAG. Lucifer was right. Day one is going to be it's going to be slower, but when they pick things up on day 2, they continue to carry that momentum into the survival stage. Lion getting a 9 point here, finding S8UL's Jack. Now taking over Zipway, there is the boat maker being called in. You have Falcons waiting in the wings as well. And this is also another rivalry that has formed in the survival stage. It's not just Falcons against Vitality, it's also Falcons against Lion. The 3 big beasts taking on each other. I feel like Lion shouldn't be looking to take Falcons out actively. And Joker will be on the flank. Now Falcons might have to deal with TG.
It's just as we noted. Gives away the game. Binoculars. Now for the rest of Falcons, I am curious to see how exactly they're going to be doing. They are 2 bodies short in this fight, so could potentially be overwhelmed. And on top of that as well, if you look at the rotations there, the Falcons are moving away. Lion is just pressuring them. I'm pretty sure they managed to steal away a pickoff. I'm not too sure whether or not it was Troll that took it away or not, since S8UL just slowly moving around the area. And now, on fire, goes down, and the Falcons eliminated early. You can hear how excited the crowd is below, since it does gives a bit more space and less of a worry to the whole entire lobby.
Wow, Lion, that is going to hurt a little bit for the Falcons. We even heard an earlier interview that Falcons admitted that yes, last year's run was a disappointing one, but they have a promise to keep. That they want to bring it back this year. Still some chances. They're still our favorite team to make it through today. We've reserved a slot for Falcons in the grand finals, but if a team wrestles us away, they're going to earn the recognition of everyone else. Aurora managing to fully recover. Same for Titan Gaming Club. Starting to get messy. 11 minutes in, 10 teams left. And even a circle, plenty of open area to work with.
Yeah, I was about to say that as well. But the compounds, majority of them had already been taken away. There's space for S8UL though to come in toward that northern side of where Vitality is currently holding. Now, for TEC, just waiting the wings as well. DRS putting in that pressure to the members of Team Secret, keeping them away for now. Hoping to see Gotham can put some chip damage. If one knock does happen, just know that they're going to be collapsing if possible. As Aurora rushes forward, TEC in trouble. Neja takes a bit of chip damage, but Aurora's push is going to be delayed by these blue walls. But for now, they are going to get completely chunked. Space taken away by TEC here. Kutush winning the wings. Rehat does manage to drop down another glue wall. And I just feel that Aurora is just breaking through unlimited amounts of space. Blade takes a lot of damage here. May have been more than he can chew. Knocked down. And as for the rest of the team now, Azriel gets one more. TEC, 2 more players back. Nejat brought back into the game. Lion wants to join in as well. Has on the outer side has been knocked down here. The shots are good. Lion waiting, very, very patient. As for TEC, they're being crunched.
This is going to be a tough one because Lion was the one to set it up. Games King, round the corner there. 2 teams at once, not a problem. Lion roaring to life here. 14 eliminations. Let's count that number out. TEC have been wiped out. Aurora, they're going to come in and make something happen. make the best out of this mess. But we have a fourth team arriving. It's SHUL.
We're waiting for quite some time as well here. Lion decides to slow it down. Aurora somehow managing to reset their whole entire team, but they're boxed in, forced to break in those blue walls. But Lion, Joker still the other side, caught out
Nice.
in the open. Zeus was ready for him. A double kill for Aurora, 4 eliminations already. Now for the next part here is going to be SAUL. The shots are true. Lion barely alive, eliminated quickly as Azriel will be the one to take him away. The rest of SAUL, will be able to make a little bit of space away from Aurora, and they're just waiting things out.
Can Aurora find that conversion here? They managed to get a bit of a breathing room. Again, Aurora not overheating. Very good discipline. Tro is going to start feeling the heat, but Aurora back into the building with the blue zone closing in. Astral could open it on the jack. Didn't have the numbers now. Lock the soul out of the exit. Bunny wants to put up a good fight, but Aurora steadfast. A triple given over. And SAUL are out. TAG on the radar. Vitality wiping out Total Gaming Esports IQ.
They were so aggressive with it as well. There were just so many fights happening all around the map. And the Hornets, you can start to see them swarming toward the right side of that circle, being sure to cross through these buildings, hoping to see whether or not there's any stragglers, also getting a bit more space. Now for TAG, finds the last few members of Aurora. Unfortunate situation, but definitely a better run for this team as Vitality turns their attention to DRS.
And I gotta say, TAG, another great rotation. They preemptively use the binoculars to scan out their next move towards the western side of the earlier safe zone. They rotated it, and now you look at the overview. They are in the best spot to have a chance to get a booyah. Third for them on the world stage, including the one from the group stages.
Was sharp as heck as well, but TAG will be the one who goes huge here, completely wiping out the members of DRS.
Oh, this is so good for TAG.
But now TS is just stuck inside of the compound. Yes, they can just fortify their space, but there's not a lot of space to work in. One nade will be able to completely chunk them down. And in fact, they are getting completely crunched by GD as well. A deeper run for this team compared to the beginning of the day. And they're making sure they don't get knocked out so quickly. CPEC, a lot of damage taken, barely alive right now. One more for Huang M is enough. No, able to recover his life. And HP finally knocked down here, but Nell ready for it. Steals him away by TAG that goes huge, wiping out GD.
Like I said, TAG have the best shot right now. They got the read so well, and even the circle shift benefits them. Riptide rhythm out of the defenses of Vitality gone down. KD gone with the shot. And Sahil Judd fights Huang Am as well. Team Secret in the rough spot. And TAG are feeling it. They're going for Secret as Vitality books it for the exit.
Sahilja just putting in the pressure to the members of Vitality. One member gone down already, but decides against it. Gonna go for a nice shot too, and shot knocked down already. The members of TS are limping right now. PLS1 will follow suit from the members of TAG. Huang M brought back into the game, barely alive, but the pressure and crossfire coming in from TAG is too much to deal with. The walls completely get broken. Tikui alone in this situation and fed it to Shoto. Another point, 19 in limbs.
Can they get Sauja back up to make it a fair 4v4? But here comes the Hornet. TAG, they've been in this spot multiple times, and they're looking to do it again. Shoto leads the charge, 19 points. The Hornets falling under the force of TAG, and they do it again. Are you proud, India? Team Apex Gaming with their booyah in the survival stage and the third in Paris.
Crazy work coming in from TAG. Positioning was good, and it was so methodical how they take each one of these fights. Every call was just phenomenal, being able to just take it step by step. And finally, in the end, taking down the Giants is a statement in itself.
India having a field day today. First, it was Total Gaming Esports IQ, and now Team Apex Gaming. They've done it again, man. All those years of waiting has finally paid off on one of the grandest of stage. Make that 4 booyahs for the region.
crazy work, and what a way to just really make an entrance to your comeback back to the big stage. And it just feels like what AJ said, today is a day where you really cannot count anyone out. In the beginning just now, we had our favorites. We had the Falcons and Vitality taking 2 spots. But now, with this speed, with this aggression coming through, perhaps we might just all be wrong.
We could be wrong, honestly. I was talking to Lucifer on the way here, and I was like, hey, what do you think about the chances of TAG? Because I think they have a good chance of making it through. I think TAG really have what it takes, and I think he agrees, right? Obviously, we had some discussion about how much of a problem TAG is going to pose to some of the front runners here, and he feels like. And that's the best punchline I've said. Bees into Vitality replay. The Bees got taken down. The Hornets dispatched. But yes, maybe they are going to pose as one of the roadblocks for the other South Asian teams because they know each other too well. But based on what we've seen in game 2 and 3 specifically, I'm looking forward for TAG to get into the finals, if anything.
Yeah, you can't help but just get so excited for them. The energy was just so loud. If you guys are here in the arena, every time they get elimination, every time they get a team wipeout, they just completely go loud and it just shakes the entirety of the space. 34 total points with 22, matching up with the stats that we saw from Falcons in the beginning of the day.
Absolutely. And even when Game 3 started, I believe that TAG were actually 3rd in the overall standings. Now I feel like they could be first by the end of this, right? I'm 99% sure that they are going to be first. But we'll let our statistician do the confirmation because I think the teams are going to take a breather. So we are going to be back in just a little bit for more survival stage free fire action.
Arena Free Fire requires a high level of artistry. So today, we are going to be testing our Team Secret's capability, their creativity in how good they are at art. Nan7 is going to be our very brave rusher. His job is to draw the character of his choosing. The rest of his team members will have to, first of all, guess which character that is, and second of all, give him a score of 1 to 10. Let's go. You've got 3 minutes. I assure you it's not a stick man. Oh no, it is a stick man.
Okay.
Okay?
Nanya.
Okay? All right. I'm sure it's very easy to guess. Come on, guys. You should know this.
Yes.
Okay. What's your score? So easy to guess and you only give him 3.5 to 1?
Based on beautiful.
Pangam, are you ready?
Okay.
Confident?
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
Mấy hồi xưa tao đi học tao ghé cho môn vẽ luôn. Tao đi môn vẽ, tao ghé môn vẽ mới lên. Tao phải môn vẽ lắm cả.
So obviously, you guys can't be too harsh with them, okay? They've only got 3 minutes to do this.
Okay.
Look at that. And you guys guess who that is.
Ignis.
Ignis?
Hiểu từ chớp. Tatsuya.
Yes, it is Tatsuya. Okay, now how many points? Not too bad at all. Not too bad. Okay, Tikui.
Thì kia học giỏi vẽ.
You know, sometimes you watch these videos on the internet and they're drawing something weird. It doesn't look anything like the final product, and then they flip over the canvas and boom, you've got some artistic stuff there. This is not that. Okay, Chikui, your time is up. That's 3 minutes.
Nó giờ. Capella.
Capella? No.
Moko.
Moko? No.
Nikita.
No.
Tao chịu luôn á. Thành ra là còn điều kiện này có Moko là Nikita là Suzy nè. Có gì? Kasi.
Say yeah. Yes. Okay. Give him some marks. I see a 0.25 there, man. I did not even know we can go down to the decimals. Okay. Ready? We can start now.
Tao biết gì. Rồi, biết luôn rồi. Yeah, nào.
It took less than 10 seconds.
Đoán đây. Vô công. 10 out of 10.
7.25, I'll take that, man. Okay, good job. So we clearly have the winner of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you're back here with the Mustachioed Brothers. And you know what? India is absolutely killing it on the battlefield today. I mean, I cannot know exactly how they are manifesting everything, but Lucifer, things are getting done in the best way possible for the region.
In the very best. And you mentioned this yesterday, Chuck the India, and it's almost happening here.
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff. 34 total points is what they ended up bringing to themselves, and that was very much crucial. That puts the right strides for the ship of India, as well as Team Apex Gaming. They made it possible. Got 2 booyahs, even Husky was mentioning. In a total, if you add total gaming for India, it's 4 booyahs. That's a big and phenomenal stuff to do at EWC26 Paris.
Quite a consistent run today for the squad, but a team that's not having a great start here is Gun Dynasty. We saw how well they did on day 1. The mechanical supremacy of that squad definitely got proven on that day, but day 2 on survival stage, they just survived off of whatever they got on day 1, right? Today, we barely see them on that leaderboard. I'm expecting them to rise up in a little bit, but let's see exactly what Husky and Tash Bunny think of that.
Oh my gosh, everything has been so high energy here. We're seeing the Titans getting challenged, and now we're already at the 4th map of the day. Can you believe it, Husky?
I want to say I cannot, but yes, I can. But guess what? We still have a lot more to go through. We are closing in on the halfway point. In game number 4, it is going to be another map where the Hornets are looking to take some big points away. It is going to be none other than Solara. And we also did say that by the end of match 3, high chance that TAG are going to be first on the leaderboard. And I think we're correct. I think TAG now are at the top. And can you believe it? India qualifying in the grand finals on survival in top slot. I can't wait to see them pull that lever and crush the remaining 8 keys. But, you know, I don't want to keep being too hopeful. I want to see the results play out. Point difference aren't that far apart as of now, but there's a clear discrepancy from top 2 and the rest.
I mean, it is, after all, a very long day, right? I mean, we're only about to hit that halfway point, which is honestly insane, because yesterday we saw moments where, you know, toward the halfway point, teams just start to switch it up, go completely crazy. I'm talking about you, Twisted Minds. And now you look at DRS up against TEC. Both teams aware of where each other might be here, but no one really wants to start off this fight quite yet. Perhaps trying to get a bit of information where anyone might be here, but again, it's too early to just really go in for this all-out. But speaking of all-out fights here, Nil going huge up against Games King, moves away, and you don't want to make a mistake against this particular player.
Absolutely not. See if Nil can win this out. He does have the mini Uzi. The bit of a fire ray, boy.
Movement.
Almost. Bit too close for comfort. That's 3 for Straw Hats. The only Bangladeshi team that got a booyah so far on the stage. And that was yesterday. And it's also the booyah, the golden booyah that sent them into survival stage, just slightly edging out the 11th spot team, which was our Ali. So far, we're still waiting for some being the...
But for the rest of the Straw Hats now currently in the lead, hot. How loud the crowd is below, you know some stuff is happening somewhere in the wings, and I'm excited to see what exactly happened there. But for the rest of the Straw Hats now, well, we saw Team Still Alive and decided they don't want to head to Earl. And for Earl, coming forward here away, gonna be able to split this. But for to be a shorter off end of the stick here. Yeah, and DRS will be the one to need to be able to happening somewhere in the wings, and I'm in the lead. Hotly happened there. But for the rest of the Straw Hats now currently in the lead, hot in this lobby. And as for the rest of the teams as well, we saw Team Secret have a bit of action as Aurora is going to try and take away the space from S8UL. The other 2 members still alive and decided they don't want to have anything to do with Team Aurora. And for good reason. Now, Zeus coming forward here away, going to be able to spot out some of the members of this team, but no movement yet. But now they rush through forward. Was not expecting a crossfire coming in for SAUL. Zeus, bit more than Joe they can chew. Decides to challenge, nor being able to come out up in the end against Azrael. And now Zeus as well will fall. Aurora, they started to have a good start earlier, but now it's just a quiet one once again.
And another early conflict that they were not able to overcome. A lot of times we look at Zeus and the Axel as sword in the shoe, but today it seems like the shoe isn't holding. So Axel again left to his own devices to bring this back, but it's about to run into Team Secret. Long-time rival. Hong crosses past with him. More than enough time for Axel to get the revive in.
It's not really
Blessing in
around either.
disguise, honestly.
Now coming through forward as well. The lightning zone is online as Team Secret just quickly rush forward there. Joel doing Joel things, finds Nejat quickly and takes him away. Quickly brought back into the game. Aggression not stopping from Team Secret here. 2 elims already and decides to clean up house because Lion now in trouble. 2 teammates as well going to fall as quickly. Once again, Joker, the last person standing. And Team Secret, once they want that space, well, you cannot try and wrestle it away from them.
I mean, one of the, I wouldn't want to use the term underdog, but one of the teams that a lot of people are really looking forward to have a monstrous performance today that we have agreed on is Lion, right?
Right.
So far, it's a no-show. Aside from Game 2, I think that was the best we've seen. I mean, Game 3 was also okay, but I think it's that inconsistency that, you know, sows the seed of doubt. It's extra and gun down Raha trying to huddle around the corner there, but not against Bunny.
You know, but they're in trouble because Vitality is coming online here as well. Troll knocked down already here. Bunny gonna try and move away. Seabank in his sights, but immediately the Valiant Rush takes down his defenses and they rush through and knock him down. But SAUL gonna try and rally back here. 6 eliminations already, but gonna be forced to move away as DRS also in the area.
They're actually doing a very good job standing up to Team Vitality. And now the ray comes through, the bond of Eclipse in favor of Team Vitality. Koja is down though. Sibang might be looking to back off and reposition with the stealth bikes. And the Boatmaker, unfortunately, ending up forcing both SAUL and Vitality away. Bunny trying to cut down the glue wall and into the gun barrel of Alu. DRS intervening and getting themselves to 3rd.
Just really hunkering down, waiting for time. But Joel, you do not want to show your head into his peripheral vision. But now TAG decides that they want more. The Hornets will be hunted down. And Koja not able to hold on. Joel will be the one to run away with his life. Shoto, he's been doing phenomenal. Call it a family buff if you want. Top performer for his team here.
Into stealth.
That's the superstar that India has been waiting for on that world stage. 3 days in a row, Shoto has been the consistent factor, the constant variable that allows Total Apex Gaming to show up in the darkness of times. They might not see them at the best a couple months ago, but right now, there's no doubt that TAG is the trendsetter. 72 points at the start of this game, but with those eliminations, it's definitely only going to go up. And Vitality being crippled and forced to hard reset as well. Team Apex Gaming, they're going to have a very good shot of extending the lead. But they are on the southeastern side of the map. I believe they use the binoculars and scan out one of the Aurora members, which is Axel. And now I want to see if TAG are going to move up north first, because that's where they might run into Vitality again. But instead, Apex, they run into Aurora.
Yeah, and Zeus now in trouble. The rest of the team completely collapsing. June barely alive right now. Being one with the tree, surviving for quite some time here. But you know Tag, once they put in the damage and that space, they do not let go. Movement is seen. Shoto as well as teammate rushing forward here from 2 different angles. Forced out in the open. Defenses falling. Gets that final shot. June, well, that's no more than you can do here. 13 eliminations already. Tag also trying to show us that they too are the Reapers on this map.
This is a team that's feeling themselves. They're having a lot of fun, they're having a good time, and they're having a great game. The Axel once more sent on the run, this time with no vending machines in sight. Stroex picked off. Tikui actually getting tagged from 10 miles away. The glue wall's gone down, Riptide Rhythm. Too dangerous for Team Secret to linger around for too long, and PLS1 will try to look for a bailout angle here. As Lion pushes forward into Team Secret, I think they might be forced to fight back.
Yeah, Hensha's already back into the game as well. And speaking of that, Lion, final member running away with his life, somehow surviving here. PLS1 trying to make a good situation on a bad one. Pratik will be the one to fall. 9 eliminations already. They've been hanging around this area for quite some time, catching so many rotators here on top of being able to wipe out almost a whole team. Alu forced to give away that space, hoping that he doesn't get hunted down by this team. Takes a bit of chip damage as Truex also close by. If timing is good, could be able to snag another point onto the last member of Lions.
An Excel's expedition. Again, the adventures paid off again, bringing its whole team back. A third chance in this game. Lion, unfortunately, after the early encounter with Team Secret, came out on the battered end. There's a vending machine nearby, but they are DRS members. And unfortunately, the Skylar, not really the best character for you to sneak into these areas. Takuri, so bringing his teammates back. DRS might be sticking around here for just a little while at Studio.
A lot of teams barely inside the zone as well, really just taking their time, and for good reason there. Just see a bit of a struggle coming in for Vitality, but TAG from the southern side, a lot of space to work with. Good timing.
And TAG are on the ball with the rotation today, man. Vitality is still down 1 and having to face up against Falcons. So far, the head-to-head is 2-2. 2-1. I think in favor of Vitality. Let's see if Falcons can tie it up now with the man advantage, but also have to be careful that S8UL could find a couple of pickups. In fact, Joel, who is far away from his frontline digs, found the Aurora members, and Axel, he's hitting back to bank. The double sniper of Team Vitality paying off big time.
Yeah, it's really good because they're just so aware. If you don't get the instant elimination, that it's over for you because your position's been noted. On fire, barely alive, but brought back into the game. And Vitality tries to make things work. Dix was the one who was cornered. But the Valiant Rush gives away his position and game. Out there in the open, you can't do much against a double player hold.
I believe Joe went down to the blue zone, so unfortunately Sebang is going to be forced to get that revive. And there's a vending machine nearby where he is, so not a problem there. He also has the Steffi ability card. He can help them to do utilities if they make it later stage. So Falcons free themselves up in this compound. The circle closes in just slightly northwest side of TV Tower, but again, a lot of open areas.
Look at TAG right now already with 13 eliminations, truly marking themselves as the Reaper. And this is interesting because the slowdown is happening. We saw the first few games coming in today, the few stream maps, very, I would say, aggressive from almost beginning to end. But this time around, everyone's just being so cautious about this final few circles here. But Team Secret wants to break the noise. Wata immediately knocked down quickly. And now they are hunting for more. Positions noted. Shanky tries to just bide his time. Moves away. Cannot use any utility either. So Decoy should be able to just pick him off. And they want more. The rest of TG want nothing to do with this. Rushes forward into the arms of GD. Not going to be a better option either in this situation.
Yep, Aztec delivered himself into Gun Dynasty, and Vanel will gladly take that, but still Mafia able to bring him back. But this say one of the key figures of TG is Mafia, and he is still around. Koja getting chased now as Team Secret. They look for round 3 to right the wrongs of what has happened in the past few games. But unfortunately, still do not have the position. Diggs quick on the movement. And once more Vitality outsmart Team Secret. The players on the take Joel down. And Team Secret able to find some signs of life on the outskirts to keep themselves in this fight.
Ensha just running with his life there. Koja with the backstab trying through, but none of the shots are actually hitting. So Team Secret able to get away with this, able to deck that space into the safe zone. And as all of this is happening, Aurora also knocked out. But Koja as well will be picked off here. Not the best situation for Vitality to be in right after that reset.
Yep. Vitality has been playing the survival game the entire round. Kutush tags Joel as things escalate from bad to worse as Joel is now out. Koja's gonna get brought back, but more than 13 minutes into the game, there really isn't much more real estate left. Dinoculus used by Team Impact Gaming scans out the entirety of SAUL, just hogging TV Tower. Launch pad at the ready. TAG, is this gonna be the rush?
Yeah, they have to. They're so far out of the zone as well. PLS1 gets knocked down here, but Jack wants to see whether they can land those shots. Wolven falls. The Hill Jet takes a lot of damage. They do manage to push down those blue walls and try to turn things around. But somehow through all of that, the Falcons also are just in trouble with Keroro being the last few members alive and knocked out.
Wow, the rotation there from TAG. The fact that no one went down means that they get a second chance, but how do you get out of this situation? There is the low ground. They find cover. TAG again making good on that movement. And Shoto will find a roll Koja out in the open. Give him number 8, man. 15 eliminations for TAG, and they're still hungry for more.
Yeah, healthy as well. The only thing stopping them right now is just positioning, but good change. Especially since GD might be in prime position to take some fights from different teams. Regardless, DRS also close by, but no one going for full commits. But TAG decides to take the fight to GD's front door. Gun Dynasty now in trouble, stuck inside a small little corner, cannot move at all. Forced to reposition as SAUL decides to chomp them down for a different angle. But they do manage to reposition because DRS pressuring SAUL from the other side.
This is gonna get messy in just a little bit. Shoto finally gunned down by Bunny as he spams away. KD got tagged as well. The captain and the star player down. Moving, trying to bring them back up. KD got up and down again. SAUL relentless on their gunfire. And this could be the undoing for TAG because SAUL do not want them to get too far ahead and is starting to break down the foundations of Apex Gaming.
So much pressure, and the circle shift is coming. C-Bank, the only thing he's got is just that tree, but Fantasy Kutush not able to get that elim. Must be frustrating, but able to reposition. And throughout all that, Prati and David from Gun Dynasty also fall. It's hectic on the other side of the map here, but I have to say for C-Bank, this is a huge window of opportunity with this later rotation. He hasn't been spotted out at all.
Yeah, unfortunately for TAG, they're sort of constantly stuck with SAUL and DRS. Gun Dynasty out in 6th spot. TAG down to just 3 members, as I believe they did lose one of the members here. DRS and SAUL are moving. And Alu, plenty of pressure onto both of the other teams there. Sibang actually tagging Shoto to a pixel angle. Things are getting rough now. TAG and SAUL springs to life. It is their chance to make good on the opportunity presented.
Wolven barely alive right now. HP gonna be able to, no, not able to. And that point goes straight to SAUL. Excited to be able to take down one of the giants in the lobby. Our top 4 already here with SAUL. Numbers advantage in their hands. The space as well, the high ground in their favor. Alu does try to come close here, but Kutush not aware that C-Bank is close by. One knock is here. Rahat barely alive. And they try to rally back.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing here, Tash?
What?
This could be a potential South Asian lobby, and I'm all for it. We've lost DRS Gaming, but there's still the Indians and the Bangladeshis here, TEC and SAUL. But Sibang is really good in hiding, trying to heal up. The blue zone's gonna push him out of position. SAUL on the rush, Jack on the Rahat. SAUL, they have a good chance. India looking to be on top. Sibang with the first knock on the Jack, but SAUL, they have the numbers, they have done it. It's their turn now on that list. SAUL scores a booyah here in Paris.
South Asia rally back, rise up, looking so good through these past few maps. And SAUL wanting to join in on that and show us that they too belong here. Crazy work coming from them to be able to survive as a squad and remain healthy. On top of that as well, a huge chunk of elimination points just really boost them forward.
They now have a chance to be actual contenders, big threats to the top 4. But one thing has remained a constant so far. TAG, I think they had 17 eliminations before they got wiped out. Team Vitality, another podium performance here. So these constants is going to be the key ingredients for them to make it to the grand finals. And I gotta say, I am nothing short of impressed. I am now a big fan. I mean, I was a fan. I'm already a big fan.
Right.
I'm an even bigger fan.
I mean,
अंधा हुआ ओए वो
हेड मार दिया
देख
उनका
के बॉल नहीं है बॉल नहीं है
कोई ना
गया
गया
मादर
man, you can see them just really cool, calm, and collected throughout all of that. And it's a huge win for this team. If anything, right now, I agree with you. These contests, we're starting to see which teams are able to make it all the way till the end. We're starting to see which teams are more aggressive in terms in collecting all of these eliminations. After all, a nice combination and mix of the eliminations and these placements will be able to launch these teams forwards. And I'm really excited to see the overall score, to see which teams are on top. But the match standings here, there, you saw 18 and 17 from both these teams, outnumbering Team Vitality and even Team Falcons that the desk was just really hyping up as the favorites.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the start of the day. You know, it's not like they warmed up and then they started, grinding their gears. No. We are not even at the halfway point. Out of the 4 Booyah so far in the survival stage, 3 of them have gone to India.
Yeah.
We have a lot of Free Fire fans on site and watching from the comfort of their home. You can quote me. India on top right now. They're doing better than Thailand. They're doing better than Vietnam. They're doing better than everyone else so far today.
You know, we had a conversation with AJ and he just said that, wanted to see South Asia, India, and all of these teams just really just put up a fight. I mean, after all, it has been a while since they have come to the big stage, right? But now, they have not only exceeded expectations, you could really tell they came here to win it.
They 100% did. But we talk about the star of the show, the star of Team Apex Gaming, which is Shoto. And guess what? We've got him. So let's hear what he has to say.
Yes, we do have him live right here on the main stage from Team Apex Gaming. We have got Shoto joining me. Shoto, we've got to talk a little bit about day 1 and your progress as a team into day 2 and now day 3. Day 1 was, let's face it was pretty difficult for you guys. Day 2, you picked up the pace, a few booyahs, and now today, you guys are playing incredibly well. What's changed from day 1 through to now?
On day 1, we planned some things, but that didn't go as planned. So on day 2, we studied the other teams and we played.
Just made adjustments throughout each day. Have you changed anything from yesterday to today?
Yes, we changed drop points.
Changing drop points. Okay, now I do want to ask you as well. I had the opportunity yesterday to talk to your family in the stands. We had a really nice chat. To tell you the truth, I think it's the same in a lot of esports, right? Your dad didn't quite understand esports, so didn't really understand whether or not to support you through it. Now he's here and he told me he's your biggest fan. What's it like having your family here supporting you while you're here on the main stage doing what you love?
Like, I'm really feeling proud that my family is supporting my passion.
And that's it. A man, a few words, but don't worry about it, Shoto. You guys can do all the talking on the battlefield. Now, congratulations on everything so far. Spud me, my man, stay right here. But for now, we're gonna head back to the studio very shortly. We've got more Free Fire action after this.
Welcome back to Free Fire at EWC26. I'm here with Glitter Explosion, the person that's currently in first place with the golf competition that we're having. And since you're in first place, I need to find a way to redeem myself.
I don't know if it's possible, but I'm going to let you try.
If I can win, somebody's going to win for me. We got Husky, Lucifer shooting basketballs. How about this?
Yeah.
You pick somebody for your team. I'll pick somebody for my team. Whoever actually scores a bucket gets a point.
I just heard one go in. I don't know who shot it, but I heard one go in.
Okay. Well, you're winning right now, so I'll let you pick first. Who are you going to pick?
I'm picking Husky.
Husky?
Yeah.
Okay. Lucifer, you're on my team, baby.
Husky, you're on my team.
you guys get a chance to decide who's going to be going first as you're in the league.
All right, fine. Husky, what do you want to do?
Let's go first.
Oh,
That's what we like to hear.
man. Okay, all right. Let's see if you actually make it, Husky. How about this? Come on, please. Miss it.
Get out of there, Seven. Leave him alone.
I'm going to do this.
That looks good. Oh,
Yes.
it's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
You got this. You were meant to do this.
No, you can't do this.
No, he can do this. Oh, the dribbles were a bit off. Okay, you know
Both
what?
hit the rim.
Well,
Both hit the rim. That sounds like a tie.
you're still in the lead.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. I hate it. Well, newsflash, Glitter, you're actually not on the lead anymore for golf. It's that man right there. He's on my team, and he's also beating me in that one. But right now, honestly, the storyline for Free Fire at EWC26 Survival is India. We have gotten a booyah from every single Indian team.
Feels unreal. When me and Husky were on the desk yesterday casting these games, and when Tag got the very first booyah, he mentioned this is history being made. While that went into my mind and all the viewers who were watching back in India, I realized one thing. This is not just history being made by Tag, but it is them paving way for the future. And you could see what just happened. Total Gaming getting the very first booyah. Now SATL following that suit. And that is not just India, but even South Asia getting close in that lobby.
And it's the confidence that the squads are playing with. We saw Tag willing to take the early fight with Vitality. Out of all the squads, usually we would see them maybe being shy from it. They were like, nah, we want the smoke.
Yeah, I mean, and they're just waiting for the opportunity really to eliminate Vitality. That is the greatest threat in this lobby right now. And it seems like it is working. Though they are not familiar with drop spot rotation of Southeast Asia, because we were talking about that, right? Southeast Asia is familiar of Southeast Asia. South Asia is familiar of South Asia. And they are going against each other. But I'm really loving that final situation where, despite of all the pressure, there's still some fight in them.
Yeah, because I did not expect that we, Fatality, can outlive Tag actually, because we only had one person down in that game. We only had Chi Bang, and he showed great, way of playing where he himself was on stealth mode. He tried to take one person at a time to face. And I mean, let's take a look at the highlight one more time. That is just amazing what he did. 5 elimination points. That is so great.
I know you want to talk about this one. Neptune, the M249.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've seen this used very often, especially in recent time.
Yeah.
M249, who's worried about Riptide Rhythm? If you have the M249 to break down all those blue walls, it cleared the way for SAUL. Buddy was just in there rocking it and just sitting in one corner. No one can get away from him.
Hey, I don't have my lasso here, but with the M249, he was rounding up every squads down there. That's what he ended up doing. Buddy, brilliant job coming in from his end. And towards the end, while you mentioned about Sibeng, right? The end fight that we ended up witnessing was almost South Asia versus Sibeng. That's all it was.
Yep, Sibeng was carrying his team and carrying Southeast Asia. And I mean, take a look at this points. 58 elimination points from Team Fatality right now. We have the same amount of Booyah 1. So basically, this is Conchita versus Lucifer.
Well, right now, it's also that top 4 squads wanting to make sure they go to the finals. And the crazy thing is that we have SAUL Esports tied with Team Secret.
Yes, Team Secret is something that I really been keeping an eye for, because I feel like they need to wake up. I mean, they had 21 points before and now they have 35. They do need to take a lot more focus on the next game, because the first game, the second game, it wasn't too great for them. I mean, they only got like single point eliminations, 8 or 9. So they do need to like take it up a notch.
Well, let's see though. I mean, they really can bring it up a notch right now, but there's a lot of work needs to be done. A lot of teams are really trying their best to put them down.
Yeah, I think especially when already Team Secret is being spoken about, Total Gaming need to pick that pace. They need the points. Earlier, before this, the storyline was between Team Secret and Total Gaming, where Total Gaming were looking better. They were up on the rank, but now they've been pushed out. That is, yes, South Asia is rising up the ranks. They're picking up the competition, the fights as well. We ended up seeing Straw Hats trying to do their own. We also spoke about Shocked earlier. So a lot of things happening at that point while Southeast Asia, as you already mentioned, right? They knowing better about themselves are causing trouble for their own region, and South Asia is taking advantage of this.
With the performance that we've seen out of the top two squads, you can now start seeing a bit of a sponge point there towards the top. Don't forget, top four move on to the finals, but those top two teams just absorbing so many points from all the other squads, and the squads that are currently on that second page. After this next match, we're going to be hit the halfway point. You don't get to go back to the hotel. You don't get to go back and VOD review and take your sweet time. No, you need to start performing, and if not, we're going to have to start counting some of these teams out.
True, because when we're talking about the Southeast Asian teams, we know how dominating they was, especially on a group stage day one. They were literally all over the place. So right now, we need them to refocus, I think, and show the world what they're really made of. And the next map is Solara. So I'm so excited for my friends in Southeast Asia.
Yeah, Purgatory, the game 5. What are we looking on that one?
Oh, well, Solara, Purgatory, there's a lot of things that need to be done right now, especially in this map of game number 5. Like, Purgatory, this is where a lot of chaos will be happening. Even in first game, we saw this cute flight path, and we saw how a lot of teams fail there. This map, like, I would say 40% a skewed flight path might happen. It's not only that, even the final circle might end up in the water. We've seen that in summer days within this week.
Yeah, there could be a lot in terms of the flight path, especially as you can see the players themselves, right? They're taking a look at what happened in the previous games, especially rotations as well. Which team is going to be where? Because we already saw on states when Shoto mentioned that we've changed our drop spots. That's something that teams are going to be checking on. Do we have a newer challenger, maybe a drop clash happening? And that's what they want to change and figure out to better their strategies. As you said, Seven, it is the last chance on survival stage.
Well, let's see, though. I mean, I'm looking at my stats right now, the numbers in Purgatory and Team Apex Gaming. They get a booyah in here, and out of all the teams in the survival stage, they're the ones on top. So it seems like Team Apex Gaming will still get it once again.
I really like it that while you all say that it's tag is at top, their hashtag is also tag on top, and they are doing it. That's the best way possible for us to see here, and for India back home. Everybody's happy for them, because this is what I think once India made it to the global stage, in the very first representation, they wanted to make sure they make a statement. And oh boy, 3 teams all out loud there.
But honestly, I mean, we're talking about India. I do read some articles that India is actually very big, and I'm so glad that they finally made it to international level. So, because international level, sorry, what was that? Again, I'm just so excited talking about you guys, because after the 2 or 3 years break, it was so nice to finally see the new talents and the strength that India have. I mean, just take a look at the comment sections. Most of our viewers are Bangladeshi, Indians. They're everywhere.
They're definitely going to be everywhere. And you were mentioning the hashtag tag on top. Don't forget the hashtag EWC and hashtag EWC26 as well, because I know tag's owner, none other than Jonathan, he's going to be looking like, oh yeah, we might be going, oh, you know what? We're definitely going to be going to the finals. What are you expecting? Because Lucifer, I know after next match, you're going to go back to casting. You can see some of the comments there. Vitality, I mean, they've definitely been performing well. So far today, 8 placement points average every single match. And then eliminations, 14.5. That is just ridiculous. Now, when we go back to the Indian squads, because I was saying you are going to go back to casting after this next match, what are you expecting for them to finish like? Obviously, you want them to finish strong.
I think while we were already mentioning, and you spoke about, 1 is there. What about 2? And now the third one's entered into the question.
This man's greedy.
Maybe we want to take it all. That's what we want to do at the global stage here. And I think it has been coming. It's a pressure that was there on everybody's shoulder, and they had to step it up, and it had to be the IGLs itself, these long-range sniper players, and that's what I was mentioning. KD God, look at him, 10,000 plus damage is what he's delivered. You mentioned about that. That is crucial. When your IGL is able to take off so much burden, the players are able to play freely. That gives them those chances, and that's the reason Shoto went all out in this game, if you saw.
Absolute cinema. I know somebody else put that, but it's pretty much exactly what's currently happening with this squad. On the opposite side, we had Nepal, and they were able to perform pretty good in that last match. But we did see something out of Nepal, Neptune, and that was that they might have been playing it too passive, considering that when we're talking about tag, they have 62 points just from eliminations. That's more points alone than what Falcons currently has. And I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong too, the lobby feels way more aggressive.
Yeah, it is. I mean, last day of some of the teams right here. So that makes it more difficult for them. For Nepal, I know they're excited to be in here. Day number 1, they were showing up. But now, this can potentially be the last day. So they are just bringing it all out. Hopefully they're not that pressured.
Yeah, no camping, no playing it slow. Take notes after what some of the other teams are doing. Make sure you get those eliminations. Tash, Bunny, Husky, this is your last match for today, and I know you guys are excited for it.
Super excited, and in fact we are now officially at the halfway point of the survival stage here in Paris, France. Again, it's South Asia Day. More specifically, the Indian teams, like the panel pointed out, all three of them have gotten a booyah under their belt. Total Gaming IQ with 1, STAGEWC Esports with 1, and Team Apex Gaming with 3 in total so far on the world stage. Better than all the other regions we've seen so far. And I gotta say, we are starting to see the hierarchy, right? The hierarchy in the food chain. The top 2 teams, TAG and Vitality. And then the big separation before we got to Team Falcons. So if this continues, it's gonna be slightly more challenging for teams like Team Secret, DRS, and everyone else to catch up.
You know, this is where things get super interesting as well. Because you know that the South Asian teams want to continue the streak, but at the same time, after seeing the comments, right, everyone's super excited for the usual teams like Brazil, like say Thailand and everything else between. When you are in this situation, you want to be able to break this streak. And from what I've seen so far, South Asia not only is streaking, but they're also on a very hot streak. TG and Lion gonna drop off at the same time here. Dilla takes a bit of chip damage. Gonna drop off at the very top of this watchtower. But for now, being able to reposition where Shanky will be able to get knocked down here. Still very methodical as TG made a big mistake of peeking out one by one. And this gives Lion a huge advantage to just completely almost wipe out this team.
I'm almost certain that it was on purpose by TG. Took a gamble and lost it. But I believe TAG also doing the same, dropping onto Aurora. The South Asian teams emboldened by the performances in the previous round, now converting it more. TG though, because of their earlier expedition, will be the first team to get wiped out.
Very unfortunate situation. Lion already is so good on fire. Gonna have to take up their next matchup here. Team Secret managing to be able to just equalize here, bringing that teammate into the game. Even PLS1 somehow getting one more member to the name. Lion, though, will be rallying back. Joker has been so good on these long-range fights. PLS1 forced to move away and straight into Joker's crosshair. And Joker not only getting a knock, but also another elimination point in the bag. And this is a great start for this team. Bit quiet early today, but this start should propel them in terms of momentum forward.
Incredible stuff so far. I mean, it started with them basically almost getting a full wipeout on TG. And they sort of converted it into a team that picked the pieces. Aurora actually eliminated Della. So the backstab train continues. We say backstab train. The team tailing behind Aurora Gaming is actually TAG that ran into them early on. So it might just keep on paying forward right now.
Interestingly enough, this area is just so hot right now. It feels like everyone that just meets up with Lion is just falling like flies. Great shot onto Zeus as well, not aware where Joker has been holding on. And I have to say, this hold and positioning coming in from Lion allows them not only crossfires, but also be able to go for these trades in case need to be. But Jun is rallying back. He wants to start something here, wants to be able to flush away Joker from this corner. Forced to move away, takes a bit of damage, but also being able to bring Zeus back into the game, but pays for it with his life.
Yeah, Jun actually beat Joker in that. So a positive outcome. The chrono time turner slightly late. That's gonna potentially cause Azrael. Axel though trying to back up his teammate. Glads a shot. Always reliable as a pillar of Aurora Gaming. Now the rescue mission begins. He's Games King. That's the tag. Give it second in a row. The Axel going big right now. And Jun back into the equation. Aurora Gaming stand tall.
This is looking real good as well. Aurora finally being able to be a little bit methodical with how they play here. Nice crossfires, three-way hold. Almost like a pizza cutter shape if you think about it. Being able to just play off one another here. Now Lion just now was the team to start off hot. And now they are the ones trying to just run away for dear life. As for DRS now in trouble, the Bell Nash used. And TEC being able to just really reap the benefits here, but they're not done. They know where Takuri and Pratik are. Force them away with the utility and those nades. But taking this very, very slow. 3 elims already in the bag. Also aware that Vitality also joining in the fight. Koja will be here first, stealing away some members of DRS somewhere through there, reaping the benefits and the hard work TEC. And Koja putting in the pressure. Rahat solo forward. His teammate not able to cross up another. Dix here with the Valiant Dash, breaking down all the walls and cleans up the rest of the team.
DRS out from the game as well. The double sniper setup from Team Vitality paying off. Completely uncontested in the situation. And it's also pretty unfortunate that TEC didn't have an answer to that. Della gets to the vending machine. The revive train will start. SAUL doing the same as well. They did run in the team secret. Bunny into GD, gets a trade. No confirmation there. At least not for SAUL. TEC removed.
A lot of stuff happening right now. Shiro also getting knocked. But for now, for the rest of these teams here, Aurora wanted to go in for this fight a bit more here. David on the outer side might be found out here by Zeus, but his team and him, nice tag team going on there as well. Coming in together as a unit, double swings, triple swings, throwing in those bodies, not allowing or giving any moment to chance. GD, one member left, walks straight into the crosshairs of Team Aurora there. So not able to survive or get away with it, even giving some extra points. At the very least, Shiro is still alive. Just go for a reset, bring back the teammates into the game.
Live Lion might pay a second visit to Aurora. As they did show up, Joker trying to run away. I believe he almost got ran down by both Jun and Suez in that vehicle. Kororo from far, that's off screen. The Tyrannom actually went wide just a little bit. Joker out in the open, and Jun finds a shot here. The rest of his teammates from the side of Lion, they don't really have the clearest of angles. As Axel pins down Della. Separation done very, very well. Aurora Gaming isolating the individual players. Strip Tyrannom out, Games King flushed out into the open. Tagged again, they call for Jun to turn around. Games King gets knocked down.
Another just rush forward. Joker that somehow managed to cross over, but could be dangerous as Della here joins in on the fray. Aurora, 2 members gonna be marking him, gonna cross through together. Too much damage dealt, and even onto the other side. Joker not able to hold on.
Yep, unfortunate for Joker, he got hit by the thrill of battle as well, I believe. A124 to disable whatever abilities that he has. Again, Lion, like you pointed out earlier on, they started off good with multiple eliminations, but ever since then, there's nothing but a whimper. And Aurora, they are rocking at 11, their best round so far. I mean, yesterday they did set a record for the most eliminations and total points in a single game. So let's see, I mean, if they get the second win, the stars align this game, we might see that record again. Vitality now firing on the Straw Hats.
Yeah, and aggressive as heck as well. The Straw Hats forced to move away into a tiny corner of that zone. But Vitality wants to go in for that chase. Koja always out there with the opening, and the Straw Hats just not ready for them in that cross down. No reaction means space given to Vitality to be able to just rush forward here. Dick stretches through Valor, perfectly done for a double. And the collapse is so good in the Straw Hats. Possibly not anticipating how aggressively Team Vitality will be able to just overcome them.
And this was something that I believe Neptune and Lucifer discussed earlier on. The Bond of Eclipse in the hands of Koja as they changed their playstyle from not having just double snipers, but having a very aggressive front. So the Bond of Eclipse plus the Valiant Dash, you break down the glue walls, and you use the Ray ability on your enemies, it instantly erases them from the fight. And they are making really good on that. And I remember talking to Ma'ao, and Ma'ao said this is probably a Clash Squad exclusive, but Team Vitality are trying to bring that potential into Battle Royale. So far, the results have been positive.
Bit nervous with this rotation coming in from Team Vitality. It does cross by SAUL. Could potentially run into Team Secret and GD as well. So All of them are on this one vehicle. I'm just worried it's gonna be not so great for them, but I don't think they're gonna be caught out quite yet. Regardless, as we go straight to the circle here, there's just so many teams there where Vitality is. And I think they're a bit aware that someone might be close by.
Just checking back on the radar. TAG making a very, very late rotation this time. Coming in from the south side. They have been doing this for the past few rounds, but this time the pace is slightly slower than what we're used to. Vitality against Secret. Another rematch now on the mountain, on the hill. Vitality opting to go for the low ground. That means that Team Secret will get a bit of an advantage as the Blues one closes in again. But even for Team Secret, they don't really want to push the advantage. Relying on the UAV to scout out for intel, as both them and Vitality part ways in opposite directions.
One really wants to really commit on this fight, and TAG, this rotation is just looking really rough on them as well. You start to see SAUL putting in a bit more pressure as they try to rotate into the area. They do make it in there though, and this is where things get interesting because Noor currently doesn't really have the support from his teammates. Troll out there in the open, so they aren't in a position to trade off one another. And on top of that as well, you can see Vitality definitely hearing the sounds, rotate over toward them as well.
Look at this split from TAG. They definitely know that there's a third team around because Troll was stolen away. KD gone. Bit of a boost, just enough to get into the safety of his teammates. The warm embrace of the glue wall. Riptide Rhythm out from Joel. It's going to catch Sahyunjan on the cross. Another one out. Now TAG out in the open. The Chrono Dome keep them alive and healthy. TAG forced to backtrack and retrace their step. The captain now down. Sibank gets the confirmation here. Sahyunjan found by Joel. Get a double snipers from angles that obscured TAG into the dens, into the hornet's nest. Diggs does get taken out, but can the star of TAG make magic happen? Shoto down low, Koja full health, explosives in hand, up close range. Joel again with the pickoff. TAG out.
Yeah, and it's loud down there, especially since TAG has been an unstoppable force for the last few maps. And Vitality very happy with this outcome, really doubling down the situation. But now they are in trouble. Don't have space in the zone and pressured by the Falcons as well, who've definitely been waiting for the right timing to stop the rampage coming in from the Hornets.
Falcons have been quiet so far. Only 3 eliminations on the board, but a change of playstyle, I think, after the past 2 rounds where the aggression ended up being detrimental to them. They are now trying to play for the late game. They're going to run into Lion first. Not the first encounter, but Lion has bested them early on, I believe, on game 2. Pina, good angle. Limit wants to join him as well. Blue Zone is going to hurt both them and Lion, but Lion is looking to get into the circle as quick as possible.
Ooh. Games King barely alive at the end of that, on fire, making sure to put in that pressure. Joker as well, taking a lot of damage.
Nice.
But nice shot coming through here, knocking down one of the members from the Falcons. So the Falcons, not only did they try to pressure, but out of all of that, losing 2 members in that process. Being able to get into the zone is going to be painful, but they still shoot back here with one of the members of Lion dropping into their pockets. But Joker will pay for his life. Pina knocked down as well. Both teams are just hitting each other and paying the price.
Unfortunately, in this case, Limit left to his own devices again. Limit, good on one. Need to do it this time. Do it again on the biggest of stage. Recovery done by Lion. 2v1 situation. Limit doesn't really have much left in the bank as well. 8 glue walls, 10 med kits, but so much open area to cover.
Ooh.
So there's no chance there. Della finds the 11th point for the team.
We only started to see Falcons come online just a few moments ago, and as soon as they showed their hands, suddenly they're in trouble. And somehow through that, the Falcons were trying to shut down the Hornets, but it's the Hornets that still survived till the end. Regardless, times of taking shifts of the zone is coming. And Vitality really taking their time, knowing that Team Secret is close by. Lion somehow still surviving as well through that chaos. Still alive as a 2. There are so many times that Games King nearly getting knocked down, being able to stabilize.
And we talk about certain constants so far in the survival stage, and Vitality has been that constant. And running into Team Secret, this time into a firing range. Secret, more than prepared.
Right as we mentioned it, they knew the risk of crossing over and they didn't really have too much of a choice. It felt like a desperation play in terms of that rotation. A Team Secret very happy with this outcome. Gonna try and take this fight up against Gun Dynasty. Gonna be opening it up here with the utility. Some chip damage to come through, but Gun Dynasty making sure to hunker down. But as fast as the glue walls are set up, it is broken with the Valiant dash forward, but will go down. Since Team Secret, ready to receive, rushes forward and crunches them 1 by 1, completely overwhelming the rest of Gun Dynasty.
Yep. Up against the Prodigy in the name of Tikoi as well. They did get rid of Hwangam, but that's pretty much it. GD now stuck in a rock and a hard place. Intervention coming in. Aurora, they want to join the fight. A party's not a party without a Malaysian team. 12 eliminations on the board. Something that was highlighted early on. When they get the second win, they might be able to do it. Tikoi steps on the landmine. Nan goes down. Tikoi to follow. Aurora reaping the rewards and make it 16 and counting.
They're just so aggressive and great timing as well. Different aggression seen throughout the entire day. Lion surviving as a 2 just now barely alive. Della will be the last one standing, knocked down.
They can do this. There's a very good chance.
Waiting in the corner.
I think Aurora has done it, right? The first booyah for Malaysia on the world stage. There it is, Aurora Gaming. 4 years in the making. And here we are, Aurora Gaming locks in first booyah in 4 years for Malaysia.
Incredibly tough, must be great seeing this from them. Definitely a team, I would say, that is the epitome of taking it step by step. A rough map 1, it's okay, go again. And slowly throughout this day, they start to heat up, start to improve, and getting it finally in map 5.
And once more, the story of the survival stage up to the halfway point has been the proving grounds of the hopefuls. Aside from Vitality, every of the other favorites have been casted aside temporarily. We see India get 3 booyahs in a row, and then Malaysia adds themselves onto that name list. The only constant is still Vitality, but I think the bigger threat now are those who are hungry for that trophy, and we are seeing that on the main stage.
And you know what's crazy? We're only at the halfway mark of the day. There's still time for these teams to just really come together. We've seen so many last minute aggression come online, last minute changes that really changes the trajectory of this team. Aurora in this particular map really took it round by round, really take it fight by fight, and somehow being able to come up on top. Let's see what they have to say throughout that game.
Let's go.
Go maju.
Nice. Ayo.
Mentality kita. Let's go, bro.
Take your time, wise words. One step at a time. You got 5 more rounds to go, Aurora. You can do it. There is hope. And I think, when we saw Aurora get off on a good foot this round, I did say, when the stars align, Aurora can do it. They've set the record yesterday. Why not today? It's not a record-breaking round, but it's certainly enough to put them back in the conversation to contend for the top 4. First and second, still hard to break through for now, but we have 5 more rounds to do that, right? Who's to say by the end of this, Aurora is not going to be in first place or any other of these contenders. The match standings tells us that Aurora has gotten 30 big points, the big 3, and that is an incredibly advantageous boost.
Yeah, should be able to boost them forward just a little bit more forward. But Vitality and Team Apex Gaming is still going to be very, very hard to beat. The discrepancy of points between the second place and the third place is a lot after all. But once again, if you're able to go in huge in one of these maps, you are able to really play that catch up. And in Free Fire, anything is possible. There are games where you just go out a little bit too early, maybe 0 points, and the next you're just suddenly getting over 30.
And I just gotta say that match standings is the projected match standings for a lot of our fans before today happened, right? With the SCA teams in the front and everyone else on the second page. But hey, crazier things have happened. This is the halfway point. We got more games to come, and we'll be back in just a bit.
We book Esports World Cup.
All right. Give it up once again for Aurora. First booyah for Malaysia, 4 years in the making. Now that is amazing, and that is exactly what EWC is all about. The surprises, the suspense. I am so happy for them, Yunsul.
Yes, totally happy for Aurora Gaming. Since this is the first booyah, finally we can see a comeback from Malaysia teams, and I am so happy for that. But I must talk about TAG. Souls or overall Indian teams, they are on fires today. We can all see that. And if I remember, maybe currently they're at the first ranking, right?
Yeah, this is the surge of India because this is the surprise that we needed when it comes to the survival stage. But let's go back to Aurora for a little bit, okay? That fight, that last circle was so amazing. I mean, going against a Lion and of course, going against the team that is more favorable is always a hard thing. But they had the high ground, the first booyah once again for Malaysia. The positioning and the way they're reading the game is just so top-notch this time.
Exactly, they move very stable. All of their gameplay, game skill, even teamwork is very perfect during the game. And we can all see the effort that they all put out. And overall, of course, we have to say, Aurora Gaming, after 3 days, this is the third day, right?
Yeah.
They have been doing the best, and finally they got something sweet for themselves.
Yeah, but we're talking about your team for a little, can we?
Sure.
What exactly is going on with Team Secret? Your team keeps clashing with mine, Fatality. I mean, yeah, we have been seeing Fatality consistently making it to at least top 5, but can you just please stop bumping into our team?
Hello. We only got 4 slots, and my team is suffering trying to get that slot as well. But I do understand your frustration, of course, because we all trying to getting a slot.
Yeah.
But at this moment, as you can see, Team Secret is still playing their best, still very stable, not trying to mess everything up, especially Tegui. As you guys can see, a very, very crazy kid. Trying to have fun in this tournament, and of course, but at the end, overall, I still can see that them still having some errors, still having some issues. But I think after this game, they're still fine to top 4.
Yeah.
So overall, nothing happened. But why do we always meet Team Vitality and Team Secrets? Always meet in a circle.
That is my question too. But hey, you saw the map reveal. It's Nextera. Nextera is our next map, and I think this would be a great place for the Southeast Asian teams to once again show them what they're made of. Now, I think it's time for us to go back to the casters.
Yes, and let's go back to the caster.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. My name is AJ Abdul Mustachio, down here with the one and only Lucifer. We are going to be bringing you guys through the final 5 games of the day. The next map is going to be Nextera. This is where your frontliners are going to shine. This is where those shotguns, those M590s, those Mag 7s are going to come alive, Lucifer.
Next up, we saw Team Apex Gaming already get a booyah today. And now we're going back to it, the randomized map. And Nextera should be a place again. South Asian teams find their victory. Because on the other end, Southeast Asian teams are fighting amongst themselves, trying to take away the points. The South Asians are trying to rank.
Yeah, it is everyone for themselves at this point of time. Yes, we can rally together as a nation, but out there on the battlefield, I see you, I only see points. And you are absolutely right. Team Apex Gaming scoring a massive booyah, 34-pointer on Nextera. And after that game, they haven't really been looking like that major run just yet. Let's see if or not they can jump back to that. Solara wasn't too bad for them, but Purgatory really tested the squad. A early exit from the lobby, only picking up a total of 6 points. So if there's anywhere to recover, it is here for Team Apex Gaming, because it has been a fantastic start, but they cannot slow down just yet. They need to solidify their spot in the top 4.
You saw the favorites, and right now in the most eliminations, it's KD God at 21 being the agile and also doing the heavy lifting. And yes, they have to continue it, but for the time being, it's going to be at Intellect Center, a clash between 3 squads, Toll Gaming, Lion, as well as Vitality. And Vitality have been fighting since game number 1.
Yeah, not looking good here, Diggs. One of the final players to actually land. Still got the mini Uzi in hand. Joker, on the other hand, depending on his stealth bites to quickly back away from the engagements. Koja finding a knock onto Della. And Shanky saying, nope, this is not for me. Although he does have a good gun in hand, they don't want to take those risks just yet. Looking to quickly reposition out there as Lion tries to overwhelm the rest of the players on the side of Vitality. Dix taken out of the equation already. Koja bleeding out, and Joel says, this battle is just not for me.
Lion, Games King, we spoke about it. He's picking up pace, gets the confirmation on the players fallen of Vitality. On the other end, SA Duel bringing their very start. That's picks on Straw Hats. Now, Toll Gaming might be late, but they are there to strike. It's going to be Aztec on Games King. Puts him down. Should be getting confirmation very soon, and Joker has to tuck his tail and make a run, but he's moving in the same direction where they pushed their opponents earlier.
Absolutely solid play here from India once again. Total Gaming looking to take over the situation. Aztec though down on the ground. Nobody can save him just yet. Della comes in for the Punisher. Time Turner was pulled out, but it's the Indian squad that uses their Time Turner against them. Shanky popping in and out. Won't get the charge buster shut down. A double for him, but Water down on the ground. And it's now up to Shanky to save the squad, but he gets taken down. It's Vitality coming back in here for some payback. And India looking to snatch away some solid points, instead get tagged up and now left with one final survivor.
Thankfully, the fight turned in the other direction. It became against, again, Lion. And therefore, Toll Gaming will have a breather, but they have to make a quick run. On the other end, even Team Apex Gaming had to get back their player. So a couple of revives very early in the game of Nextera, and that is bound to happen. A lot of eliminations going back and forth. And Lion now another trouble. That's going to be Team Secret. We already saw Conchita as well as Yunsul trying to look forward to steer their teams in the direction. And it's Team Secret who have now started it off.
This is the replay from early on as DRS bumped into Straw Hats. And unfortunately, Xtrov just did not manage to get away from that situation in time. The VSS in the hands of Alu, more than enough to sort that situation out. Wolvin, though, caught in a tight little spot here. Shoto dropping by to see if he can help out his buddy. It is the wild, wild west out here. Wolvin getting his glue walls broken down. Zuez wants those shots, but it's now a 2v1. Zuez has to back away from this battle. Azriel looking for the flank. If he can find this position, he might just be able to punish the Indian squad.
Sahiljat, he's on the back lines and Azriel has no idea about it. Finally had to put up a glue wall to stop that. And now Shoto, who was on the front line, will be shut down by Zuez. Wolvin wants to still pick the axle, but it's not working out, and Zuez is making mark on Team Apex Gaming, doing the damage. Sahiljat is also caught out. He'll be put down. And Aurora, who just got the booyah, are continuing their elimination spree.
But fantastic play from Sahiljat. He already brought in those revives, so the squad will survive to fight a little bit more. Now it's all depending on where they find the drop on the way back in. Gun Dynasty, a team that has definitely been struggling from the start of the day, looking for a major recovery. Can they use this game to do exactly that? David taken down. Vinette's out as well. It's all up to Benel, and the super savior of the squad does it again.
Always bailing the squad of Gun Dynasty, it's been Benel. Not just doing the eliminations, but also bringing them back into the game. That is a lot to ask from Benel. While he already gave us everything on day one, and that is the reason I feel like Gun Dynasty have not found their best yet. On the other end, DRS They've always caused trouble for everybody in the lobby today. And now against Falcons. Pratik getting closer. Alu, can he put him down? And it is going to be Pratik who puts and confirms him.
Yeah, beautiful advantage there for DRS, who had the numbers to take on the Falcon player. But now TEC with one wild player moving towards the vending machine, looking to see if or not he can help out the rest of his team members. The final player alive, Kutush, hits a triple revive. He sacrifices himself for that revive, but it was well worth it. Titans Esports will stay alive in the lobby because of him. We still have 12 squads in here. Nobody has been snuffed out just yet.
5 games are done. Now they know it's time to bring back those eliminations. And Troll Gaming, they're the ones in trouble. Team Apex Gaming, they were troubled by Aurora. And now even Aurora going against Troll Gaming, getting those eliminations quickly. John finds another, and that's going to be Aztec. And the last one going out, that is Troll Gaming out of the race. And the very first team here on Nextera.
Total Gaming just not seeing the brightest side of their performance at this point of time. But we still do have 4 more games for them to run through, and a comeback is definitely possible. We'll have to catch up with their performance later. For the time being, 11 more still struggling out there. And DRS finding themselves yet another player from the side of Falcons. Can they punish once more? Kororo too far, on fire. Unable to set up much defenses there. Those glue wall melters just melting down every single barricade it puts up. Venus too far, on fire will have to take the fight. Time turner pulled out. It's a 2v1. Takuri. The backstab just not enough. Finally, they catch up with him. Took long enough. And Falcons will lose yet another player.
AJ, the DRS are the troublemakers of the lobby. They're going to try and take these eliminations out. They're going to trouble them with points. And Pina once again, this time, shuts down Alu. But that's not the only one. Stroix was there. It was a bait and switch. He did not even get that point.
And this is what you need to see out of Nepal if they want to climb the leaderboard. It has been a rough day for DRS. The best game we've seen out of them so far was Solara with 14 points. But 14 points is just not enough to really make your way up towards the top. You're looking at the top 4 teams making the qualifier into the grand finals. You don't have many slots available. Team Apex Gaming, 5 eliminations in hand so far. Shoto on the way back. He can't get involved in this battle just yet. Wolvin will have to find a way to survive this, and the Indian squads, like you said, preying on each other once again. SHUL up against Team Apex Gaming.
Tag and SHUL, it happened in the previous games as well, where SHUL ended up getting their booyah, but Wolvin now chasing Troll. Today it's not been Troll's complete day. We saw Bunny a lot more expressive. Wolvin on the other end, he has found eliminations for the team, and now running right to the race of Troll. He's only putting glue walls, but it's not going to work out. Tag is surrounding him, but Tag, he helps out somewhere, and Sahijat gets taken down. Now Troll has an opportunity. Wolvin gets closer, and Wolvin trying to shut him down, and Troll will fall. But there was an exchange again. It is Jack. They are evening this balance. 1-for-1 elimination traded off.
Yeah, beautiful positioning by the tag players. Team Apex Gaming just showing exactly who the Apex Predator is. Just through positioning, Koja will find a wild one for himself, but unfortunately there's just a knock. They quickly recover and take him out of the equation. Vitality not in a spot to take the fight, but they'll try to force it because Dix just can't run away just yet. Joel with the cover from up top, but unintentionally Leon has just blocked away all of those shots with their positioning. And Vitality will be outnumbered here as they take the fight. Sibeng has been spotted out from afar. He's got the Morse. He will be able to get away from the situation, but can he find a vending machine for the rest of his brothers? Because they are about to fall at the hands of the Lions.
Lion, 12 eliminations in total. Find another. That's Dix going out of the play. On the other end, we spot Sibeng a little too far. Going in for revives, Joel. He's all about that roof position, but can he pick this player off? Can Lion take him out of the play, or is it going to be an opportunity? It seems like Vitality do find opportunities. We saw them earlier itself in early game. The fight with Lion, they brought it back. Vitality were able to even wound Total Gaming in that mix.
Now spending some time outside the circle here, Lion. They need to start moving, but just a tad bit entertained by Vitality and Joel. He could not get off the top spot there. Just tried to play a little bit of a advantage with that high ground, but he gets caught out. But now, as Lion try to rotate in, they're going to have to face off against the Falcons eventually. Team Secret versus Gun Dynasty. This is going to be a tough one for Gun Dynasty. But we've seen them go in for those mad rushes on day one. If they can pull off that aggression level once again, Team Secret might be snuffed out too early. But Secret as well are so close to the top 4. They not only need to survive, but they need those points. But TEC looking to sneak some away off of Gun Dynasty.
Gun Dynasty have not had the best Benel. He might have brought them back into life there at the dead center right now. Team Secret also sharing a close compound. It could be an opportunity for either of these squads, but the one in the race is going to be Team Secrets. As we are at game number 6, everybody knows it's time to make sure that every elimination counts, every circle movement counts, and especially the zone shrinking itself. And right now, shrinking is going to be an opportunity for Lion as Joker gets taken down. FGL as well being used to make sure that there is no option of survival for the player of Lion.
Falcons currently in the top 3. And they want to climb up a little bit higher because they understand Lion, WAG, Aurora will not give them any bit of breathing space. And Lion's on fire right now. 16 eliminations in hand already. And obviously jumping to the top is not going to be impossible for this squad if they can stay alive and get to that final circle. But still, placement points wise, it is very risky to get into all of these early battles. It's still too young in the game, although we're just reaching the 11th minute mark. This is where chaos will start to unfold. Vitality, on the other hand, yes, revives after revives after revives. They haven't been able to recover.
Gun Dynasty, they also need a recovery that they need to put. They did it later in the day, but because of that small gap that they had in the early games, they could not make it to the top 4. And right now, that is also the trouble they're facing. Team Secret, they're slowly taking strides, which is working in their favor, and they need to make sure that it continues for them. And if it does, they will be in the top 4. And they are the recent champs, especially from SEA Spring, and they need to make sure they put their footprint here in EWC as well.
You can bet on Team Secret to do that. But I have to say, this has been the best match so far for Gun Dynasty. 10 eliminations and counting. Katie God with a wild AWM shot from afar. And Lion, as expected, spending too long outside the zone. And now with the lightning zone called upon them as well, it's going to be tough. Not just to survive, but to find those revives for the squad. We'll have to see how Games King manages this situation. DRS, on the other hand, losing player after player. The shots coming on through. 2 teams aiming at them at the same time. Straw Hats under pressure. And the players on the side of Gun Dynasty trying to pick up as many points as possible, as they've got a perfect vantage point here up against Straw Hats.
But Straw Hats, as they're making a run, they will be soon meeting Team Apex Gaming. With Team Apex Gaming, they have the quick attention towards Vitality. Extra off. I don't think it's going to be an opportunity for him to get out as the zone's also closing in. Tag have Straw Hats cornered. Shocked has been knocked. What can he do here?
Unintentional assist there from Gun Dynasty, and Team Apex Gaming saying thank you very much, sir. We will clean up the rest of their act. As they shut down player after player, sending these Straw Hats back to the lobby to wait for the next game. 12 eliminations in hand. Team Apex Gaming again looking like the Apex Predators out there. India looking absolutely strong for the day. But now, Team Secret, they've spent a lot of time in this defensive compound already. Problem is now, they'll have to travel past Gun Dynasty, past DRS to get into the next circle. If they play their timing wrong, Team Secret's going to make another early exit.
Yeah, the entire pathway towards the circle is completely empty. There's only one compound which SHUL has, and making an early rotation was Aurora, and they're right next to them. Wolverine, in the meantime, as Stag is right at the edge of the zone, they get knocked, and continuing that form is going to be Gun Dynasty taking that advantage. KD God also gets knocked. Confirmation coming in from DRS. Earlier Tag were troubling them, and now DRS is taking advantage. Wolverine also gets eliminated. And Team Apex Gaming, who just had eliminations, who are looking at top, 12 in total, now have lost 2 players. Had the vending machine earlier, but because of the zone, it's compromised.
SHUL looking to take down a couple of plays before making the move here. Gun Dynasty shutting down the Apex Predators themselves from India. Team Apex Gaming out this time. Team Vitality snuffed out as well. And Falcons up against Team Secret, who turned the tables on them, but Limit single-handedly shutting them down. But unfortunately, the Circle and Aurora from afar will put an end to that battle. They take the best advantage, and Team Secret's out as well.
SATUL, Aurora, and Gun Dynasty together trouble Falcons over there along with Team Secret, but DRS still surviving. 13 total eliminations for them. But they'll gain found. That's SATUL right now. They've gotten their very first booyah. Looking forward to another. Jack and Noor together. They're taking DRS down. Confirmations working their way. And look at the position they have on top of the roof. Will not even let Aurora get closer. But before Aurora get any intention being closer, they toss a nade, put an end to both Gun Dynasty as well as DRS.
Can Aurora do it back to back? They got a massive game at Purgatory, and here at Nextera they're on fire once again. But that SATUL from that high ground could just ruin their party, but they're tad bit distracted now by TEC. Blade tagged up as he tries to make his rotation, but great glue wall lineup here, and they've left Kutush behind. Kutush's job is to play distraction as the rest of the players make their way into that safe haven as they line up those glue walls. They've given Kutush a great opportunity to survive, and SATUL could not take advantage of that rotation. But TEC needs to be careful. The zone's catching up with them.
SATUL, they might have let Aurora walk past, taking an advantage of the zone, but they need to make sure, put a stop to Aurora because of the high ground advantage. Titan Esports Club, they cannot climb it. They have to traverse around it, and that's what they're planning to do. Aurora want to spot either Titan Esports Club or SATUL, who would make a jump for it, because right as ahead of the game is Aurora.
The distraction now from TEC, Titans Esports, trying to call SATUL and ask for their attention, and the Indian squad will say, no problem, brothers, I'll give it to you. Noor trying to take those shots, will find the tag, and Troll gets the follow-up with a VSK. Kutush down, no pickup for you. TEC down by one man, that's a big disadvantage, but they spot out Aurora as well, who have not started moving just yet, and Aurora doesn't have to.
Aurora find an opening on SATUL. Let's stall. At least it will stall the fight for Titan Esports Club. Maybe a recovery for them. However, Jun could not confirm that elimination, so SATUL still have their 4 players standing on the higher ground. The rooftop is still working for them, but the zone will start closing soon. 20 seconds left on the clock. Either of these teams need to make a play, but Aurora, they are the ones who have control of the bridge, the compound, the entire open ground.
Repositioning that vehicle, looking to quickly get to the opposite side of this circle if they need to, but they want to see what the move is like from SATUL as well as Titans Esports. You can see the Cassie's electrotherapy connected already between Blade and Rahat. That's going to be a massive advantage here for the Bangladeshi squad. But India up top, SATUL refusing to jump off of that roof, but they'll be forced by the circle now. And this is going to cause chaos between them and TEC. Rahat trying to get away. Great blue wall. Time turner pulled out by SATUL. 16 eliminations now. They pop the Cassie and Seppi as well. And the Painted Refuge will keep them safe from all of those grenades. But Aurora from afar. It's that AWM shot. Suez popping off the M590 as well. 19 eliminations strong. And Malaysia about to go back to back of the Booyah.
Booyah is what Aurora end up pulling. And for Malaysia, they wanted to rise up the ranks. They want to get the points. They wanted to make it to the top 4 and not be eliminated here from the survival stage. The counterparts from Southeast Asia, majority of them have already made it in. What a game again from Aurora. From so many jaws of death, and SATUL having the advantage, they still make a rotation faster under the noses of SATUL and make it across in an advantageous position for themselves.
We've usually said about how Axel definitely carries the squad with the sniper and Suez on the front lines, but this time I have to say everybody stepped up on the side of Aurora. The game at Nextera was even better than what they showed us at Purgatory. They are on a mighty roll now, and just through 2 games, they've gotten more than 60 points. How incredible is that? This team, the players have not seen the international stage for so many years, and to make a comeback like this on the survival stage shows us that they truly have got what it takes to climb the leaderboard. But is it going to be enough to squeeze themselves into the top 4? Because they've lagged behind in the initial couple of games.
Yep. When we started the day, we were talking about it. Aurora have potential. They have the Axel, but yeah, it's only him so far that we were witnessing. Azriel was looking good. Let's hear them.
And I have to say, just with 2 games alone, they might have done it. They might be in the top 4 with an incredible jump. Malaysia keeping the hopes and dreams alive for the nation. The only representative of Malaysia showing everyone that when you dream and when you hustle, you definitely can pull away a shocker of a gameplay. I mean, not just getting the booyah, right? But the back-to-back booyah on the survival stage when you've got so many other titans in there competing for the exact same thing. Vitality this time, they just could not continue their run. Unlike what we saw at Bermuda earlier on in game number 2. And Aurora Gaming, 32 points through the 20 eliminations and the booyah.
We were talking about potentials, right? Aurora showed us that potential yesterday, almost a record-breaking performance. And we thought, hey, this, if pulled off a little earlier, they could have qualified in the top 4 before they stepped into the survival stage. At least here, a couple of the games went away, 5 to be named in exact, but finally they end up pulling their socks and taking everybody down one after another, irrespective of who is against them.
We saw Team Apex Gaming, we saw Total Gaming Esports do so much better at the start, and SHUL was lagging behind. But in this game, we saw the twist of fate from the Indian squads. I mean, 17 eliminations on this on the previous Nextera map definitely put them in the crosshairs of everybody, right? But this time, they have managed to step it up once again. It is a beautiful game that they have played in here, but SHUL, their journey is not over just yet. They have got a few more maps to travel through. Hopefully, they can keep the momentum up.
Let's see what momentum is going to be there, because right now, in momentum terms, we have Team Secret's interview with Yunsul. Let's send it over.
Thank you to our caster, Yunsul, and welcome back to the stage. And right next to me is PS1 from Team Secret. So let's have a little chit chat with him, shall we? Into our first questions. We have just passed halfway through the day and you are on the cusp of being in the top 4. So what do you need to do for the rest of the day to keep yourselves in the competition? Well, would it be mechanic or even a teamwork? Xin chào Players 1. Thì đến với câu hỏi đầu tiên là chúng ta đã đi qua được nửa ngày thi đấu rồi. Và tất nhiên là cũng sẽ chỉ còn lại 4 trận đấu nữa mà thôi. Thì cả đội của mình là sẽ cần phải chứng chỉnh những gì để có thể là tạm thời giữ nguyên cái vị trí của mình trong cuộc đua đến với top 4 hiện tại
Thì em nghĩ team của em chỉ cần giữ vững tinh thần và kiểu bớt những cái lỗi vặt lại thì 100% vô top 4.
100%, very confident. So overall for PS1, we just need to be stable for our mental and also keep reduce our small errors. And that should be 100% for us to secure the spot in the grand finals. So to the second questions, you came into this event as champions of the C regular seasons, but also the FMVP of the tournament as well, but have struggling for the consistency here in Paris. So what do you think has been going on in some of these games? Thì tất nhiên là Team Secret đã đến đây với một cái vị trí rất là nổi bật. Đó chính là nhà vô địch của giải đấu C vừa rồi của chúng ta. Và đặc biệt bạn cũng là FMVP của giải đấu vừa rồi nữa. Nhưng mà đến với Paris lần này thì có vẻ như là đội của mình đang khá là chật vật ở trong các trận đấu vừa qua. Thì không biết là đội của mình đang gặp phải những chuyện gì thì có thể chia sẻ với các bạn khán giả được không ạ?
Em nghĩ chắc là lý do lớn nhất là do team em là lần đầu tham gia EWC. Thì một phần là do sức khỏe chưa đảm bảo, nhưng mà kiểu lâu quá cũng chưa bắn giải với nhau nhiều á, cho nên là 4 thành viên vẫn chưa gắn kết như hồi xưa.
Oh, so I think this is our first time joining the EWC, so that's why it's kind of strange for us about everything. But the second thing is our health is not, it's not stable at all. So we have to try our best to getting used to the timeline here and everything about our health as well. And the third thing is we have been used together. We haven't played, especially in the tournaments, for a pretty long time. So that's why our team is not that strong and not having that strong connections anymore. So I would like you to ask you another questions, and this will be my final questions as well. We are having many teams, many C teams in this group as well, but I can see one team that used to be the underdogs of the C, which is Aurora, and now they rise up. So how do you think about them? Because I think that you also have a race with Aurora and Team Falcons as well. Thì đến với câu hỏi thứ ba cũng sẽ là câu hỏi cuối cùng. Thì chúng ta hiện tại là có khá là nhiều team C ở trong cái bảng lần này. Nhưng mà tất nhiên có vẻ như là đội tuyển mà chúng ta không đánh giá mấy là cao nhưng lại vô cùng nổi bật hiện tại, đó chính là Aurora Gaming đến từ Malaysia. Vậy hiện tại thì Du Xuân nghĩ rằng là các bạn cũng sẽ có một cái cuộc đua rất là cạnh tranh cùng với Team Falcons cũng như là Aurora lần này. Thì bạn nghĩ thế nào về Aurora khi mà họ có vẻ như là vừa có đó cho mình một cú đúp booyah vậy ạ?
Ban đầu thì em nghĩ là Aurora đã bị loại khỏi cuộc đua top 4, nhưng mà sau 2 game thì họ có vẻ là đối thủ đáng gờm mà bọn em phải cạnh tranh.
Các bạn có nghĩ là mình sẽ cần phải lên một cái chiến thuật gì đó ngay lập tức để có thể là cạnh tranh với họ lần này không?
Nói chung là bọn em không quan tâm lắm tới một team còn lại, chỉ cần quan tâm tới bản thân mình thôi.
Right, that's really good. So overall, we can see that Aurora, at first we thought that Aurora would get kicked off of the top 4, but overall right now we can all see that they bounce back really fast, and this is a race, and we can also see that they are very strong contenders to us, but we do not care about other teams. We only care about ourselves, and that is how we rise up once again. So everyone, thank you so much for your listening, and I do really hope that Team Secret can bounce back really strong at this time. Now, let's get back to the studio.
The body was built to move, not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.
Hey, hello everyone, looks like a bombshell. It's a big fan of Apex right now. I mean, what can I say? They are doing so good. They are firing me up right now. Oh, I got this energy over here in the crowd. You guys already know the parents of Shoto. He's doing amazing. Good job with their son.
Yeah, good job.
He's amazing. But right now I want to talk to you, dude. I mean, what is the feeling to see finally a team from India doing so well in a World Championship?
It's great feeling for us, specifically for India teams. We are here after 7 long years at international stage. Back home, everyone is cheering for them, and these guys have made everyone proud back home. So yeah, we are rooting for them, and hopefully they will make it to finals from here.
Wow. And what that would mean for India to have an India team winning a World Championship?
It's gonna be very massive thing, not only in Free Fire, in the esports community in India. It's gonna be a very massive thing if we win it from here. Everyone back home, they are already rooting for the boys, for all the 3 Indian teams who are representing here. So we all are, of course, rooting for all the Indian teams who are participating here, and hopefully boys should carry this flag up, and we'll be cheering for them.
Amazing. I love that. For real, love that. Okay, I want to know what kind of celebration you guys will do back home if Apex win AWC26. Huh? Who can you share with me?
There would be really big celebrations back home, but we will be feel really proud if we do make it to the finals. As of now, we are not yet out of the woods. There's still 5 games to go, and we are in a position where we can't really complain. It's not good, it's not bad. We are at an even kill. But if we go on in the finals, we qualify for the finals, and our aim is to end in the top 3 as of now. We are not looking at the top slot as of now because there are really good teams in the group. I realize that. So our feet are firmly on the ground as of now. But yes, if we do win, that would be a huge blast back in India. It would be endless celebrations.
Amazing. I love that. Can I go to India?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe some good food?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Would you teach me some moves from India? Woo! I want to go to India right now. Apex, please. Make to the grand finals. Win. Apex.
Yeah, you don't want to see my moves. We can definitely give it a try, but it's just not going to be happening. By the way, welcome back. 6 games have gone by, and we have none other than Husky, Neptune, Lace, the 7WG here. Yours truly, I got to say this, because Neptune, you got a chance to curse earlier on when it was to Aurora. And we have the savior for Aurora. And for everybody currently watching at home, don't forget that you can earn rewards in-game. Support your local team. Qualify to the finals, and you're going to end up being the champion of a lot of awesome stuff. So predictions in there too. So make sure you log into Free Fire, participate, and continue watching AWC for those in-game rewards. But talking about Aurora, Husky.
Yes, I've been waiting for this moment, Neptune. I've been waiting for this moment for so long. I can finally say the A word, Aurora on top, baby. I only have one word written on this cue card. Look, it's Rora. Nothing else but Rora. They're going to make it to the finals at this point. But early on when I was on the test with Tash, and I did say when Aurora gets things going, when the stars start aligning, when they start getting a couple of eliminations, the snowball is going to start rolling. And they did it. 2 rounds in a row, baby. 2 rounds. 4 more to go, Aurora. Let's get it. Give me 4 more booyahs.
Not biased whatsoever, but 4 more booyahs. I just got that.
They want to bring it all home.
We see teams being able to get 3 booyahs, 4 more booyahs. I'm going to hold you to that one. And trust me, you'll be back here with us as well. But let's talk about some of these games because the performances out of this squad, to be completely honest, Aurora has performed so great. I know you usually don't want to talk about them, but I think it's time, Neptune.
Yeah, I'll just bring in the numbers details as well. But getting this back-to-back booyah, or actually the previous booyah, was just great motivation for them. They know exactly what they need to do right now to find the final circle, and that is what is important. And a lot of people will be saying that they're camping and what. That's just strategic. Yep. That's just something that they need to do right now, especially with how fast everyone has been taking all those eliminations. And it's a good thing as well as in terms of role, they are sticking to it. There's no crossover already, not really splitting up that much. Thus, the strength of Aurora is just growing.
Yeah, for Aurora, I don't think it's camping. I think it's just like you were saying, being tactical, and the eliminations are showing up for it. Keep in mind what we were talking about earlier, the top 2 squads, boy, their elims are just insane today. And talking about those top 2 squads, I love that the Apex dad was just kind of chilling at Apex Gaming. He was just like being realistic too. We're not pushing for that top spot, but we are pushing for them to end up being in the top 3, like Shoto has said at the beginning of the day, because on that top spot right now, Vitality is still just performing so well.
Yeah, well, let me sort of bring in 2 storylines for you because obviously we started the day talking about Team Falcons and Team Vitality, and it looks like those 2 teams were just kind of out in front and above the rest. But what sort of happened is like the fall off of the Falcons, but not Vitality. You find that like these juggernaut teams come out swinging, but one has to crumble. Then we would bring in, like Apex Gaming into the mix now. So something for like Team Falcons. Their aim would to be sort of to get to where Team Apex Gaming is, because I feel like no one is slowing down Vitality. Their average eliminations is 15 per game, and placement is 7.6, which is absolute insanity when we come to this stage of the competition. And this is survival, guys. Like this is crazy. And generally, there starts to come into like the motivation and the mentality sort of dipping, and this is what we're seeing from Team Falcons. But Team Vitality didn't get that goddamn memo because they have not been slowing down. Obviously, we're speaking about Aurora and bringing them into the mix as well to see them sort of surpass the Falcons. It is going to be incredibly tight in that top of the leaderboard, but I don't think no one's touching Team Vitality at this point in time, and they might not be able to do it in the next couple of matches.
And you can see how tight it is. I mean, right now, you're looking at the top 4. Lion currently finishing that top 4 and winning that tiebreaker at the moment. Team Falcons is going to be there as well. SAUL, we've seen SAUL getting a booyah earlier on, but it's going to get even harder as we go on to those last matches, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. There's a lot of teams who will be trying their best to catch up in numbers. And you were talking about Team Falcons. Look at where they are right now. And they really want to take that spot. But again, the history between Team Falcons and Vitality, when Team Vitality has been introduced, they were the Falcon Hunters. And it's showing right now. Even when it's a reverse, Team Falcons is trying to hunt Team Vitality. Like, they are being wiped out.
Yeah, and going back to Aurora, I really love Game 5, what they were able to do towards the end. Third party at the end, making sure that we're aware of the situation around the map, going for it and getting those wins. And now we turn the page here towards the second one. Team Secret in 7th place, 75 points. So we saw the cutoff at the moment being 83. They're still within striking distance. And for the rest of the squads, Husky, do you think they might be able to do something, or is it time that we start switching the roles from potential final goers to potential teams that might end up spoiling it for some of the other squads?
I think, if I have to be honest, Titan Esports Club, Total Gaming Esports, IQ, and Straw Hats might have to start, transitioning into the role of spoilers at this point, because it's hard for them to catch up. We've seen some moments of brilliance in the first half, but we can see them run out of gas very, as the game progressed. My concern right now is for Team Secret. You know, I know our host Yun So Reed is the only representative of Vietnam, but I personally stand by how I look at Team Secret as a squad. They have 2 anchors, and usually when a team has someone to rely on, like for example AGL, you have Dew, you have the Axel for Aurora, so on and so forth, Yago for MIBR Laws, they usually hold a team together. But for Team Secret, we're looking at Tikui and PLS1, and they both need to have a good game. If either of them doesn't, Team Secret falls apart. And that's the scary thing right now.
And what he is saying is, viewers, to summarize it, needs the top teams just to die off immediately at the start so they can catch up.
Let's see. I mean, that's really one plan. What's a good plan, but they have to start it off. They have to start it off. But going back to Team Secret, I mean, I think going, like, as you did mention, 2 anchors, it's really difficult to choose on how well, who is going to take a lead at this point. And we're seeing that as well. With 2 anchors, I think there's the split of decision as well as positioning as well from most of the cases. So they will need to be more cohesive in their rotation. They need to take position and probably copy a page from book from Aurora Gaming, because they want to be aggressive. They want to catch up in numbers, but it's really difficult right now, especially when everyone is hungry for points.
Yeah, the aggressiveness is what we're going to be looking for because of those top 2 squads. The way that they're playing right now, absolutely insane when it comes out to actual eliminations. I mean, you have Vitality with 80 eliminations. You have them being followed up by Team Apex Gaming with 77, keeping it on brand with me. I see what you're doing, Apex Gaming. But this is what we're talking about in regards to some of the other squads. Maybe they're playing a little bit too passive. Maybe you want to see a little bit something off. And I kind of want you to call out a team, Husky. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Any team that you're seeing out there that maybe is playing too passive for the way that the lobby is currently playing?
Surprisingly enough, I would say Team Falcons.
Okay.
I feel like after match 3, 4, they slow down a little bit because they realize that their nemesis is no longer just Team Vitality. They're getting caught in the crossfire by Team Secret. They're getting hunted down by Lion. They're getting dropped out in the mid game. And some of these teams now have the chance to play spoilers. So I think Falcons, they got to find their winning ways, right? Regain their identity from when they won EWC24.
Yep.
And if there's one team that I want to add on that could be a potential threat, it's TG. The TG, they were intentionally dropping Lion. They were trying to get things started, even though they lost that hot drop. But if they keep this going, eventually they're going to start breaking some teams.
I know when he said Falcon Slays, you straight up said, agreed.
Agreed. Look, eliminations is their strength. I said it at the beginning. They made up their total from group stages by eliminations. Their placement points is abysmal. So they need to keep that momentum with eliminations. And you can see that's exactly what they're not doing. They're not going for these aggressive fights and plays to building that snowball effect, because I think that was kind of the first time we really saw them in the I think it was like match 2, we saw them in like end zone. That's generally not what they do. They're usually those sort of edge hunters and they'll clean up with those elims. And now it's not happening, and it's reflecting in their score and their gameplay. So they're not doing exactly what they should be doing from like their aggressive play style.
Yeah, and with Falcons, I mean, this is the maps that we have coming up, Neptune. We got Bermuda coming up. What are we expecting in regards to Falcons to be able to do? Because I'm so glad that you guys pointed it out too. They started off hot, and then it's been a bit of a slowdown. And with the way that the lobby is currently playing, you just don't want to end up slowing down whatsoever.
And what's tough for Falcons right now, especially in Bermuda, is they haven't gotten a Booyah right here. The team that has Booyah in here, make that 2, is Team Vitality. So it's still a tough fight for Team Falcons, but I know they've met already. They have seen how well they are being countered by Team Vitality, especially in Southeast Asia region. So hopefully this is where they pull out all those hidden strats that they have to counter, similarly to what we've seen in the regionals, how they countered and eliminate Team Vitality, or probably just pull away from them, because their rotations, from what I've seen, at some point is also quite clear to lead.
Yep. I mean, Lace, you had the stats for Vitality too.
Well, yes. So, Vitality are getting those high eliminations, and for the first 4 matches, they actually placed in the top 5. So not only are they getting those eliminations that Falcons were in the beginning, they're getting top 5s and obviously a Booyah. So that's what separates those two. And yeah, I don't know if Falcons has that capability to catch up to Vitality. This is why I said it's Vitality at the top and now everyone else is racing against each other.
Pretty much. That's what's going to be happening because Tag has slowed down a tiny bit. And don't forget, they're being realistic too. From the get-go, they were like, we just want to finish third place. That's okay. That's okay because at the end of the day, you just want to end up in the top 4 situation. You were able to talk about Team Secret. Something that we have seen too from Groups A and Group B is that the top 4 squads were able to get a booyah. Right now, Lion doesn't have one. Team Falcons doesn't have one. Can they get it?
I sure hope so. I think Lion is one of the teams that we are looking at to join the top 8 in the grand finals. They are starting to ramp up, but we need them to be a bit more consistent.
Hopefully that consistency is going to show up. We're going to be going to Bermuda. Let's see who's going to get that wonderful booyah.
Thank you very much, Seven. Thank you, the panel. And you know what? This time, it is time for the underdogs to rise up to the occasion. This map, we saw the randomizer earlier. It's going to be Bermuda. And this is where Straw Hats stand a good chance to jump right back into the race. They've always placed well in this map. The only problem is finding those eliminations. And guess what? Team Apex Gaming, I'm hoping that this is going to be that launch pad for them to push themselves into that #1 spot as well. But like Neptune said, Lucifer, Vitality is going to be a big threat here. They are the ones leading with 2 booyahs on the map so far. In fact, they're the only team out here in this lobby that has had a booyah on Bermuda.
Exactly, and I think that's the major factor that every teams have to count on. But still, Team Apex Gaming, as you pointed out, they did manage to end up with decent elimination and points at the end of our game #2 Bermuda today itself. So there's still a possibility, but even mentioning Straw Hats, teams at the bottom, Total Gaming and Titan Esports Club, these guys still stand a chance. Even when we were talking, when the panel was making their discussions, we said if Aurora are able to pull off 60 points within 2 games and jump to the top 4, there is a chance for everybody out there.
Oh, opportunity for Team Secret to shut down Vitality early. Joel down already, and the thrill of battle has been popped. Sibang cannot use his stealth fight, tries to get away. Mini Uzi tagging him up, and Tikui will put him down onto the ground as well. And Team Secret overwhelming Vitality. And the first blood drawn here by Tikui, but they cannot spot out the rest of the players on the side of Vitality. And the instant revive from Koja, the double revive will pull the squad back into the game.
Both Team Secret and Vitality have a battle, but I'm worried for Falcons. And we see them, it's going to be Straw Hats right in front of it. Falcons, they want to qualify.
Oh.
They're the reigning club champions, but right now they're not in the top 4. On fire, want to send a shot, but the chrono being activated. Still no knocks. Pina on the other end, he finds, and finally on fire as well. So both of them end up finding 1 each, putting 2 eliminations for Falcons.
Yeah, unfortunately, Straw Hats just weren't prepared for that battle. They just didn't have the right gun. Still running in there with the Mini Uzi. They're going to get tagged up and shoved out, but thankfully, still a couple of survivors left there for the Straw Hats to pull the squad back into play. SHUL, on the other hand, up against a team that they should not underestimate. Falcons in the situation, and Limit double Riptide Rhythm to take Jack out of the equation, but Karoro's been knocked down already. Time Turner pulled out by Bunny to save his buddy, and SHUL won't be able to respond well to Falcons, who will try to get out of the situation now as they understand without Karoro, things are going to get dicey on that front line.
But Bunny seems like he has intentions to go for this chase. He's on the hunt, moving towards Limit, and if they take out Limit, that's going to be a big opening. But opening again being found by Team Secret. DRS tried for a challenge. Vitality earlier tried, they failed, and now even DRS are failing. Another elimination about to go out. Tiku, he is the one who got a charge burst in hand. Alu spotted, electrotherapy being used. He doesn't have his skill. Very intact as well. On both the ends, electrotherapy being used for survival. Takuri spotted. Tiku charging right now. But DRS trying to fend themselves against Team Secret. But finally, not 7. He's been taken down by Alu in the upper floors.
Not the right gun here for Tikui. The Charge Buster taking too long to get the elimination. The Mag 7 definitely the much better preferred weapon in a situation like that. Tikui trying to get those charges up, but DRS is staying away. Wang Am though with that backstab. Perhaps this is going to be the difference maker for Team Secret. The vending machine still in the area. Neither squad wants to get out, but Vitality drops by to say hello. Can they be the third party that walks away with the most numbers here? Wang Am stepping out of the defenses. Alu Max 7 supremacy, still with a better gun in that situation, but finally gets put down. The 3-way battle not doing good for the Rail Soldiers, and they're now looking just purely to survive.
Challenge is still there. Team Secret somehow kept themselves afloat. PLS1 and TQ, they're ready to take down Vitality once again. Glue Wall is the only one protecting for the time being. And finally, they take a float above Team Secret. Give Vitality a breather for the time being. Sipeng on the other end wants to spot, but Diggs will get taken down. Sipeng has no opportunity. Joel wants to climb in, and he'll also be taken down by PLS1, and Vitality's re-challenge fails once more.
And that's all because of Team Secret and the thrill of battle that A124 popped in the perfect timing. Vitality thought that they were the biggest winners there, pulling in the third-party ambush, but without their active skills, Team Secret made that one look like a walk in the park, and Vitality may be up on top of the leaderboard, but in this lobby they go down first.
Team Secret, their hunt to the top 4. Right now, they are taking down every team in front of them. 8 total eliminations already here at Clock Tower, and clocking their eliminations is what they're doing. SATUL, after their challenge against Falcons, now they have Titan Esports Club. They also need an opportunity to climb up 5 eliminations. They pick up 1 more right now, and they have Team Secret in front of them. Dinoculars does not give them any information because Team Secret are spread out. They even use a UAV. That itself is of no use again.
Yunsul is nowhere near us, but I can hear her screaming from somewhere here in the arena because Team Secret's on fire right now. But Aurora up against the Rail Soldiers. There is a vending machine here in Mars Electric, and Aurora wants to hold on to it as they pick up more numbers for themselves. Can they make this a phenomenal, legendary run for the squad? Hey, back to back Booyah. 3 games in a row, 7 eliminations in, and they are looking solid as ever. Speaking of solid, Team Secret currently on fire, might just make their way towards Mars Electric here as they hear those sounds. Is it going to be the aggressive play, or will they just choose a compound to hunker down and play defense for the next spot? Straw Hats were down at the very bottom of the leaderboard, somehow surviving the initial encounters.
What can they do different right now? Catalyst earlier, we did see SATUL as well as Falcons, and we still see Falcons nearby. So there's still an opportunity for Straw Hats. But Husky even mentioned the teams at the bottom should become spoilers at this point because there's just 4 games left from here on.
Yeah.
And if they can do it, ruin chances, maybe even for South Asia, they could give openings for the rest of South Asia to get into that top 4, make it into the finals.
Husky is being realistic, but I feel like I want to see some shockers out here. I want to see Straw Hats pull an Aurora on the battlefield. I want to see TG pull an Aurora out there, right? Can you imagine if TG gets the 60-pointer out of 2 games? They're instantly back in the top 4 already. But of course, it's going to be a lot to ask. Currently, once again, Southeast Asia looking to dominate the lobby. Falcons, Aurora, as well as Vitality in there. But India still has got strong representation here through Team Apex Gaming. 5 eliminations already, and they're looking for more. Azrael's going to be put down. Jude's going to get caught out as well. Double Blue Wall's not going to save him. Team Secret looking for a little bit of a sneaky play here from the opposite side, but we'll find none.
Let's quickly see the replay of what happened to DRS and how Aurora were able to get their elimination challenge. 2 eliminations picked up by Azrael, both on DRS, quick on his action. But right now, Team Secret, after losing PLS1, he's been always the savior. Now what can he do? Gamesh King, 4 eliminations strong already. 9 in total for Team Secret. But challenging Gamesh King is going to be difficult. TQ in a different direction. Electrotherapy being used, but the opening can be found. Bolt Maker being used, and Gamesh is down. That is the opening. TQ once again with that Charge Buster, charging through Lion. And Joker also spotted. Quickly takes the vehicle, but can he make a run? Della becomes the supplies, trying to act as distraction, but he'll also be taken down by Nan7's own M79. But still, Team Secret keep pumping through, but trouble is not done. It's Titan Esports Club now as a challenge.
Earlier, it was way too close for the Charge Buster to pop off. This time, he does have the distance, but too low in HP. Will Blade be able to take advantage? Tikui needs more, but unfortunately, time was not on his side. In Titans Esports, spotting an opportunity and taking advantage of that chaos, and Team Secret falling victim to that play. Lions will get caught out as well, Kutush. And this is what we want to see from the teams at the bottom, Lucifer.
Trouble everybody out there. Joker moving towards the vending machine, but he did spot the players from Team Secret who were already there, and that's the reason he decides to cut this and move in another direction, because he knows even if he tries to go to the vending machine, if he doesn't time it perfectly, he will lose the chance, the life for Lion here in Bermuda. On the other end, a full revive's been put in, clocked and ready for Team Secret. 11 total eliminations. A comeback is something that they would want to stage. Joker, a free elimination could be possible. Alu has no idea about this. Damage already being done. Joker ready with his weapon, damage done. But he quickly takes the zip line because he heard that sound from Team Secret. Didn't want to give them the chance once again. And Joker will safely make it out for the time being. Alu.
Oh, wait, what a phenomenal play, Jokers! What a shot off of the zip line! Up close and personal. The final survivor of the squad here from Lion will quickly recover as he looks for a vending machine to bring the rest of his brothers back. Will Pratik be able to cut off his rotation? DRS looking for the revival point there to bring back the full squad. Jokers is going to avoid him like a master. As he pulls the flag towards the right-hand side, DRS so close to the full squad revival. The real soldiers are being real daring here. So rare to see the revival platforms used out there. And he will complete the full squad revival for DRS.
He does it for DRS and Joker does it for Lion. Team Apex Gaming, in the meantime, they had a clash with Total Gaming, lost their comrades down to the last. That's Sahil Jat out in the zone, taking the damage. But Total Gaming have another opponent that they have to challenge. That's going to be Gun Dynasty's Benil. And they quickly act upon it and take that player also down. Total Gaming is adding points. We spoke about this. This is what we want to see from the bottom teams. Pick those points, make an Aurora play happen, and you know an impossible could be in the making.
Somebody put some Mysore Pak in the mouths of our panel, man. You know, they already called it, Lace said it. All that the underdogs need is for the big teams to go down early. Vitality and Aurora cursed by Lace. Thank you very much, Lace. We appreciate it. And DAG is about to take a big L as well with a final survivor looking for those revives. But this is the kind of situation that teams at the bottom desperately need. Rise back up to the top. And Lace, you deserve some Mysore Pak. I have some in my bag. All thanks to Lucifer. Brought it all the way from Bangalore. Thank you, Lucifer.
Hey, sweets for all of us. It is good. Yes, Stag got taken down, but it's Total Gaming making a comeback. On the other end, Lion will also be happy. The fans, we just saw them. 11 total eliminations, all the players back up, another being added. And Joker might find one more for himself. Takuri spots Joker. Quick boost. Does he take a challenge? Joker instantly spots him out. Steffi being used. That's really well placed. And now, Lion should be able to fend this off and make it work.
Oh, beautiful plays from the guy so far. He played that AWM so perfectly. And he survives because of that play. But how long more can he spend outside? David 444 though, Gun Dynasty looking for survival. Wait, what? And Total Gaming, I do. Mafia somehow still holding on. Now this is the team that was down at the bottom. They started off the survival stage with a Booyah, but it was a very safe play Booyah. Just 10 eliminations on their side for Kalahari. They need to bring the squad back in to stand a good chance to take advantage of the fact that the big boys are out.
Yeah, big boys are out, but they were four-man squad strong. What just happened? I'm not sure.
There you go.
An unfortunate fight somewhere, but yes, they bring the players back. When Gun Dynasty, after losing Benil, Vinay and David are together, but here playing is not going to be a great spot at peak because Titan Esports Club have entire control of it. But now they have an opportunity, go ahead of it. But Dinoculars being used and the plan of SATUL right now, Rakil. It might be from Falcons as well, but right in the front of Falcons, there's a Bolt Maker being called and Straw Hats with Team Secrets are breaking a fight open.
Well, it's not Lions Bolt Maker. It's not Team Secrets Bolt Maker. Oh no, it is Team Secrets. PLS one down though. Instant pickup here from Nan7. He's got the Diva. He's got the Olivia. And he's right back up into play. Instantaneous. In terms of recovery, our team solid and they take the fight straight up to Straw Hats. Going in for knock after knock. Nan7 don't push right back down. And Straw Hats putting up a strong fight with a little bit of the assistance of the Falcons from afar.
15 total eliminations for Falcons and now they have trouble Team Secret. Nan7, the last man standing. PLS1 somehow closed that fight with the glue wall. He wanted to help Nan7 over there, but he knows he has to destroy the glue wall, which will mean Falcons will again try to hold them off.
That's it.
Melter being used, trying to get closer, but the zone's also closing in. This is not the best position to be in. But I think he will be able to recover him, bring him back into life, and they have another opportunity. But Falcons have an eye on the arsenal.
What a clutch on that Super Met. PLS1, no Tiva on him, no Olivia. He just had to go all the way for that pickup. And the recovery was a lucky one there. For Nan7, who almost got knocked right back down from the damage off of the blue. But now the tougher part to get into the next circle without being gate kept by Falcons as well as Lion. Lion now keeping Falcons a little bit busy. This might be that opportunity for Team Secret to make their way in, and they're going to ride right behind SHUL, who haven't taken the shots up against them just yet. The car's on fire, but they still make it in the nick of time, and Team Secret still alive.
Right below SHUL Esports, and now that's trouble for SHUL as the zone's closed off. They have a launch pad. I think that's what their intention is. Quickly launch them off into the space in the circle.
Yeah.
And thankfully they do it. But Lion, they launch right into the front of Falcons, and look at Joker's position behind enemy lines, and the opening should be found for the timing. Falcons trying to hold it off, and On Fire gets taken down. That was Joker's play. And with Joker finding the open, Falcons are also in trouble. Glue was being placed, Pina trying to find an opening, but he cannot spot the players close by. 2v1 and Keroro gets taken down. Pina, can he do something different? Chrono being popped, he slashes the player for an elimination. On Fire also helping out in the meantime, but Della and Joker together will put Falcons a tad bit silence. On Fire sends off the M590 right to the face of Lion, and now answering back is Limit.
Limit now on the step of Falcons from almost being snuffed out by Lions, making the strong come back. Limit and On Fire, phenomenal play, and Lions will fall in front of the most dominant team. Falcons off of 2024, your very first EWC Free Fire champs, now taking on SHUL, the team from India who's also looking for the top 4. So close yet so far. If they get this booyah, perhaps they can take one step closer to it, but the underdogs of this final circle has to be Gun Dynasty.
Nobody expected them to be here, and that is the reason they have the biggest advantage. Trying to find an opening, Melter being used. Falcons, they have numbers that's weak for them, but gunpowder nothing less. But there's an opening. Noor has found it. Peanuts down. Make it more. On Fire's down as well. Confirmation works. Limit, the last man standing. SNUL 14 total elimination, and Buddy up close puts down Gio as well. Make it 15, and SNUL are looking for the second booyah, and they get it. Second booyah at the survival stage.
India's on fire. When I said Chuck Day India yesterday, man, did I mean it, and boy, are they living up to expectations of the whole nation on the biggest stage after so many years of waiting. Not just one team, but every single one rising up to the occasion. And this is that recovery play we expect from SHUL. The previous time on the survival stage, game 2, they jumped into Bermuda with just one elimination, no placement points, but they smashed the lobby this time round.
Smashed the lobby, got a booyah, made a second on the day, and now making a mark. We spoke about this. The panel said the teams at the bottom should just go spoilers, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen when teams are so hungry, determined to make sure not just takes this advantage off this international stage, but also make their nation proud.
Man, Vitality, they definitely took a big L this time round, but they will not bleed. They will smile, because a majority of the efforts from the first 5 games should be more than enough to keep them in contention for the access into our grand finals. But we need this exact same performance from the other teams who are hungry. Let's check out the replays here as well, man, because man, was this an insane lobby to start things off with.
Yeah, they started picking off the players of Titan Esports Club who were in mid-air, and then took an advantage. Let's hear them.
रुक जा जैक रुक जा आने दे एक ही है
You could see or you could hear.
Both. Right? At that point, they knew they have the booyah, but you could clearly hear them telling, wait, Rupcha, it's wait.
Yeah.
And they waited because they needed this booyah with all their players.
Since you're already translating, you want to translate the rest as well. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love the team comps of India. I know chat will be absolutely alive right now, but these boys are on fire. 29 points up at the top, followed by Teams Falcons with the 27. And Gun Dynasty, this is the comeback we're expecting. This is the rise to the top that we were expecting. They started off day 1 as hot as this, and then they kept getting wiped out. Even at the start of the day today, remember when we went on the stage, I was saying that this team needs to wake up. They need to show us more of the tenacity of that day 1, and they are bringing it right back into play.
But that's the problem I have, AJ. Yesterday they did the same thing. Towards the end of the day, they started picking up the points, but it was not enough. And if they don't pull off it, I know we've right now banking on Aurora because they made it happen, back-to-back 60 points. And I think Gun Dynasty, if they have to pull off a comeback, they have to make an Aurora 60 plus points. And I think Gun Dynasty might have a chance as well.
Yeah, I think Gun Dynasty heard Husky loud and clear.
Yeah.
But the teams who are at the bottom, the best that you can do right now is go and play spoilers. But hey, you know what? If your spoilers suddenly becomes a dream, a miraculous run, then maybe the grand finals is where you'll end up in, because it's not too late just yet. We've got 3 more games to go. Like you said, Aurora, just purely with 2 games, managed to get a 60 bomber for themselves. Can you imagine what would happen if Gun Dynasty put that off as well?
If they do pull it off, it's going to be trouble for everybody out there playing down in the stage. But let's give them a breather. They need it right now before we start the next one.
We were there. For every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind. And we're here. Now. The proud founding partner of EWC. Powering the biggest event in gaming. Shoulder to shoulder with the world's best. Making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion. Reach your impossible.
Hello, my dear Survival. It's Yunsul, and I'm right here at a very special place for those who love gacha, like me. All right, so we can see this is spin the wheel. Just got the number you want, and then you will get the exact gift that with the same number you got. And by the way, this place kind of near of Lenovo Legion and also near the merchandise store of EWC. So now, let's play the lucky game with me. This one is pretty heavy, so try your best, okay? Hey, what number? Oh, is that number 4? Is it in the middle? I'm gonna spin again. Get me a real number this time. All right, this is number 6. I got my number 6, and also I'm going to claim my gift right now. This is a secret gift. You know, if you come here to join with us here at EWC26 in Paris, France. I'm gonna go grab my stuff now. See you guys in a bit. Incredible stuff coming here live at EWC Free Fire, where we are looking at multiple stories for survival stage. It's interesting because we all thought that this group would be so neck to neck, but the bottom of the ladder has been so interesting, Husky.
We literally asked for some of the teams at the bottom, some of those who are still hungry for more, to show up. And guess what happened? 3 out of the 4 front runners got knocked out early in this map 7 on Bermuda, and afterwards SAUL, they got their second booyah. And again, I feel like today's survival is not about SEA, it's about South Asia's, it's about the regions that have more to prove, and I'm so excited to see more because it is only getting heated up.
Yeah, it's getting heated up. And on top of that as well, we talk about something to prove. Aurora looking so good today. Back-to-back booyahs after so long on the international stage, showing us that they are still not down and out.
Yeah, I think Aurora has really found that second win, right? It took them a while. Yesterday was the same thing. They set a record in Paris, and now with 2 back-to-back booyahs, it should give them a confidence boost despite that early exit in match 7. And because Aurora now are in that position to be a contender, I feel like they have the exact confidence to push on forward.
That's right. And after this, we are going to be going to Kalahari. Excuse me. Now, Husky, what do you think of this map? Is there a particular team that really stands out to you there?
I mean, I gotta say Vitality, right? Vitality has always been a great team on Kalahari because Indonesians in general, but I think Lion has also been the up and coming. This is a team that we wanted them to show up. they started off quite slow, but in the previous 2 to 3 matches, you've seen them start racking up more eliminations, and now they are in the rat race to get in the top 4.
Yeah, it's really interesting watching them as well because we talked about the switch up just during cast, right? About how the beginning of the day is just a feel up for so many of these teams. Lions have changed it up. They look really good and aggressive as ever. And most importantly, they're looking really good. Another team that I really want to test you on is Falcons. Everyone put them on the front runners and the top of the scoreboard, but a bit quiet.
Yeah, I think Falcons has always been a top contender, but they took about to warm up. I literally asked them to be more aggressive because they have lived off of eliminations, and they did exactly that. So Falcons, I think they are back in the race.
Yeah, that's right. We're very, very soon about to go into the game, and I am super excited for this. 3 more games coming in, and who better to tell a story are the casters as Lucifer and AJ.
Thank you so much, Dash and Husky. This is game number 8, Kalahari, that we are heading towards. This is where Total Gaming, when we started the survival stage, got their booyah, and they made sure that not just Tag, it's also them. And along with them, yes, Vitality and Falcons are ones in question. And let's see, as we move towards our game number 8, who will get their chances, just like SATUL, who pulled off their booyah in the previous one.
Can Total Gaming get that back-to-back Kalahari booyah? Because if they can, this will be that match that allows them to wake up in the survival stage once again and potentially survive a relegation, survive going back home. Man, we have got very few spots left in the grand finals, just 4 more. Out of the 12 teams that are playing here, who's going to be able to earn that for themselves? At the moment, you can see that Southeast Asia is definitely running the show out here. But Team Apex Gaming, one final survivor, KD God, man, that was a beautiful final second revival. One that's going to keep the team in it for a little bit longer.
That was almost all lost. Thankfully, he did jump in the other direction, and that is the reason he was able to get Sahil Jad out. Not the best vehicle as well to drive, and there he will be spotted. Falcons at his limit, picking off, and Sahil, he will survive. He needs 100 coins, and he has it right in front of him. He'll quickly get it, vending machine. He'll jump right to it and also get the player back up. But hey, it's not the best, and DRS spot. Team Apex Gaming, they are at a total of 122 points, 1 point away from Vitality, who lost in the previous game. And this time, if they want to keep that difference going, they need points, but DRS are not allowing. We said this. Every panel is spotting this out, saying the teams at the bottom become the troublemakers, and Sahil Jad, big trouble for him.
Oh, but you got to respect that Spider-Man action out of Sahil Jad. He just disappeared from the crosshairs of Takuri, who was going in there for the flank. Pratik also can't find Sahil Jad just yet. How can he work off this 1v2? Sahil Jad looking for it. The rest of the team members on the way back in. Oh, survivor in Sahil Jad. He's already gotten a bulk load of the work done. And DRS could not snuff him out before those revives got brought back through. You'll still have Team Apex Gaming making that run in this lobby.
But run right now is Straw Hats on Toll Gaming. Instantly shutting majority of the players down. But thankfully, Toll Gaming still have a last man standing who got revived before the squad got taken down. Mafia.
Now into stealth.
He will instantly use his stealth bites. There is a vending machine right in front. So far, at least in the start,
there you go.
The Indian squads have had trouble. A long way to go for the time being. Revives being done all across the game. But right now, Shoto and Wolven together fight with Falcons. Glue wall instantly. Valiant dash being used. Damage being done, but not the best weapons. But finally, Wolven finds the opening. Pina sound confirmation as well. And Falcons, who thought they have the advantage, have been taken out. And a surprise challenge from Aurora.
My God! They shouldn't have won that, but they did. Falcons dropping the ball right there in that instance. And Aurora dropping by in to keep them entertained, so that Team Apex Gaming can continuously recover their players right back in the game. Shoto with the Drogon, still alive and kicking, but just a knock he'll be able to afford for himself. But the recovery play is solid for India. And Team Apex Gaming again, I mean, hiccup after hiccup, but they're still hanging on.
They've not given up, and they're not gonna. That's their entire ordeal today, because they know what they've done yesterday with history. It's time to pave future. And right now, DRS, with a fight with Straw Hats, picked up initial damage, want a confirmation, but an instant challenge coming in from Shock doesn't work his way. The charge buster right to the face coming in from Takuri. And that's going to be another elimination that he'll confirm very soon. And Straw Hats will not be able to do anything. But Nil is trying his chances, trying his luck. But Takuri spots it. Charge Buster ready. Initial damage coming in from the Max 7. Can it find? It's going to be crucial. Takuri running away because he knows he wants to get some distance before he goes with that Charge Buster. And finally he was ready. Sends the shot. And Nil will also be down. 2 eliminations from Takuri.
What a play by Takuri. He understood that he was at a disadvantage with the weapon that he had. Put enough distance between him and his opponent. The Max 7 gets beaten down by the Charge Buster off of a phenomenal mechanical play. But Takuri still under pressure. This time it's the Woodpecker up against him. Can he get away? Does he go in for the bait once again? GC, on the other hand, having to deal with SHUL as Team Secret exits the lobby early.
This is advantage for SHUL itself because Team Secret so far have been troubling Falcons, Lion, Aurora as well. So if they go out, SHUL might have an advantage. But on the other end, nerves of steel coming in from the real soldiers.
Yeah.
Takuri to hold off in just one tower, almost metal scalding, which is about to break down, and he's made it a fort for himself. Extra getting closer, but his defense broken open. Hook gun being used, jumps on top of it. A challenge gun being placed. Takuri still holds off. How is he able to do this? But finally, they go for a 2v1. I think now chances are going to go off. But if he pulls this off, that's going to be a 1v4.
If Takuri pulls this off, he is the real soldier. Finally gets taken down. And it took 2v1 to get that done. Man, Takuri, phenomenal plays. But of course, he's kept the team alive for long and entertained as the rest of the revives got pulled right back in here. SHUL, on the other hand, up against the Titans esports squad. Losing 2 players, and it's all up to Jack as well as Bunny to hit those revives. Bunny just got brought right back in. He has to make sure he doesn't get caught out here, and Jack is close enough to the vending machine to bring Troll back in. And the squad scrambling around the battlefield to look for those revives as Bunny gets taken out once again. It is tremendous pressure on SHUL right now because they're out of coins.
GRS is running in all directions that they can, and they take down Jack as well. That's Takuri once again. He's brought back in the game. M1917, and there's another player going out. The real soldiers right now commanding Kalahari, taking players down, points being taken away, chances and dreams maybe get shattered, and this is what I was worried about.
Yeah.
Every team towards the end of the day will make sure that the others in front of them will be taken on because they have nothing to lose anymore.
If Takuri keeps this up, we're going to dub them the real spoilers instead of the real soldiers because it is phenomenal. And now they're in the next circle as well. Can he rip away more points for the squad? At the moment, they're not challenged by anybody else at Refinery, but if you look outside that circle, confinement, you've got a little bit of a heat of battle, as well as at the maze. Lions up against PG. Total Gaming IQ, only 2 eliminations in hand so far. Recovery after recovery, but it's time for Shanky to shine. Gomez King knocked down to the ground already. Della looking for that recovery, pulls out the time turner in the nick of time. Max 7 in his hands, a little bit of an advantage there. But he's not going to go in for the push since he doesn't have the backup on him. Pachar comes from afar, knocks Shanky down to the ground, and Della's going to make sure he gets taken out before the pickup can come on through. Aztecs picked off as well, and just like that, the Lions turning the situation around.
Toll Gaming don't know where Joka is, and Della with the Max 7 takes Wota down. No chances over there for Toll Gaming. They thought all the players were right in front of them from Lion, but Joka was the one. He was the sniper. He was the stealthier one.
Yeah.
And all Mafia can do being a sniper for his own team is run towards a vending machine, collect coins, and get them back on their feet. SHUL have made it, and Total Gaming, they have an opportunity, but they need to take every game with a stride of Booyah. This is a map they're familiar with. Back in India and out South Asia in general, Total Gaming are known to dominate this, but so far this start of Kalahari has not been great for them.
Absolutely. Total Gaming is facing a total struggle at this point. We definitely talked about this. They started off the day with that one Booyah on Kalahari, but ever since that game, they've just been taking one step lower and lower and lower as far as their points are concerned. They did have a little bit of a recovery at Bermuda earlier on, but it was nothing to scream about. Just 8 points in totality. And the struggle continues for the squad. They do manage to bring back one more revive, but not a full squad just yet. But how much can they pull away here? SHUL troll up in the air, and nobody manages to catch him as Axel is just too busy aiming down at the Vitality players instead. Koja taken down and out of the equation. Diggs is close enough to the vending machine to pull him right back into the game. One more shot needed. M82B is going to reach behind the glue wall, but Diggs is well covered and will not be knocked down. Oh man, so close at the follow-up. Just take him down. Shoot with the BSK and the flank.
Ooh! Nice shots coming in from the Axel, but Sibeng right at the time puts the glue wall up. Koja could have been taken down, but thankfully, right in the nick of time, he makes his dip. And now a chase going in from Aurora Zuez, but it was a little too late, and Sibeng has an opportunity. He puts the bullet through the VSK and gets back to confirm. Nice play coming in from Vitality to hold their position off, and Aurora, who had troubled Falcons earlier, thought they could do the same to Vitality, but Vitality are sitting at the top of the charts. Azriel also spotted. Joel will also bring in Koja, and now there is no chances of Aurora from making a comeback against Vitality. A fight here.
Fantastic decision-making by Vitality, going back in there for the reshell on the revive. Koja called right back into the compound with the confidence, instead of sending him to a different compound to play the revives instead. And they will work a team wipe with that confidence. Aurora taken out way too early in this battle, and Vitality, the ones to thank for it, and you will not have to deal with the dominant run of the Malaysians much in this lobby.
Look at the points, how close it is. They were at 95. That's not a fight that they had to take. They could have moved in the other direction.
Yeah.
But not having the best of information, only going behind Sibeng and also losing that fight, one after another, players being brought down to their knees, is why Aurora is out. Chances now going out from their hands. If this continues, even though that 60-pointer was pulled off in just 2 games, will all be long lost.
And I have to say, Vitality made a good play there in that compound and base. You definitely have to be closer to the vending machine if you are having a rough fight like that. And they just had the opportunity to bring that revive back. And not only that, they could also stop the players from the side of Aurora from bringing their own players back into play. And since the whole squad was there, it was just a straightforward fight. And Vitality will not just stay at the top of the leaderboard, but they'll be alive and kicking to extend their lead up at the top.
Extending points is Lion. And also on top right now is Della on the crane. This is a brilliant position for Lion. They also have a hit list activated. We saw them, they troubled Total Gaming, and the hit list is on Mafia itself, the last one standing.
Man.
But he did bring his teammates back into play, so Total Gaming still have a chance, but with the hit list threat right behind them, it's going to be trouble. But look at this hold off. Command post looks like a base for action right now.
Great rotation by Vitality. Falcons, on the other hand, scanned out here by the UAV, and they'll send their own out. That does give them a tad bit of information. Straw Hats are within shooting distance as well, so Bangladeshi squad just needs to be a tad bit safe. Right beside them, it's Titan Esports Club, 2 Bangladeshi squads beside the Falcons. Not looking good for Bangladesh right now. They'll have to play this one sneaky. STROX from DRS, the shot from afar. And they're actually ruling this lobby right now with the eliminations.
Yeah, DRS, 8 total eliminations in their name. Oh, Total Gaming on the other end. Aztec and Mafia will be there as saviors. Chrono being used. Aztec, thankful to that M79 being pulled off. He will stall the fight, but if the fight is right in front, that is SHUL Esports. And afar, we spoke about this DRS. Taking so many eliminations, troubling the whole lobby, and still continue to do it because they have such a big tower, a vertical advantage, a playground for themselves with that tower.
STROX is going to be very dangerous with the M24 and VSK combo in his hands. DRS holding on to that high ground advantage for themselves. Will not have to move for the time being. But SHUL up against Total Gaming. Buddy down on the ground, and Noor will not survive as he gets snuffed out with the VSK limit from afar, punishing. And Falcons holding on to this vantage point. And this is going to be threatening for all of the other squads who are looking for this next circle to be fished out by Falcons. Is going to be a possibility, and Limit continues to do it with the AWM and the VSK in hand. He tags them all up. 6 eliminations. Make that 7 as Limit is on fire.
Unstoppable is Limit. This is what Falcons needed. Aztec somehow survived with his teammate. And a blessing in disguise, the fight with Toll Gaming and Vitality because of Falcons got supported, but Aztec is not safe and sound. The zone's closed in. Shanky and Aztec had healed, but their HP is slowly draining because they're still outside the play zone, and now Falcons have their eye and limit once again. Shot being taken, Riptide Rhythm goes right out, and Shanky will not be saved, make it 8 eliminations. Falcons taking the advantage right now as Aurora are out of the competition, SATOL are out of the competition. They want to make their way back into the top 4.
He has got enough for a double revive here, but will his players be able to survive the shots from Falcons, who do have a vantage point? They do have the opportunity to look up. The double revive does come on through. Is that going to be 3 extra points for the players who are on that high ground? Lions up against CAG. Team Apex Gaming in a lot of trouble. DRS have been snuffed out already. Aztec gets knocked down by the circle after his sacrifice to pull in the double revival. Gun Dynasty still alive and kicking. And Lions haven't smashed down the defenses of Team Apex Gaming just yet, but they don't want to take advantage of the situation that they have, because this situation can turn around real quickly. They have no idea who's in this house.
Lions have an advantage here. We spoke about Falcons. 11 points is what they've gotten. 10 for Lions on the other end.
Yeah.
And they are the closest to also make it in the top 4. While Falcons want to cement themselves, Lions want to make an entry. The best team from Latin America, and they want to make sure. This time it's going to be Joker with the highest number of eliminations, 5 in total, but Flash Freeze being used to stall them outside. And Team Apex Gaming do not want to give them any entry. Just one landmine right now. And a bolt maker being called will force a fight. But on the other end, Falcons have another intention. It's Gun Dynasty, who gunned down the players of Toll Gaming, and Pina runs right in. Rina is taken down, Shiro as well. Fennel's now spotted. And with his position compromised, I don't think Gun Dynasty will have an opportunity.
Nah, unfortunately, Gun Dynasty just got annihilated. David 444 loses his life as well. That A124 pop was just too much for him. And now here comes the Riptide Rhythm. Ryan's actually going in for the shutdown. But now still alive and picking up points here. How is this man still doing it? With the Moss, with the stealth fights, keeping it stealthy, up close and personal. Della looking for the Punisher and finally puts Gun Dynasty out of the equation. The Lions also losing those numbers. But on the opposite side, look at who we have. The underdog Straw Hats still alive and kicking in this lobby.
Troublemakers is what we'll get till the very end, game 10. And Straw Hats want to make sure they pincer teams down, take their eliminations away, their chances. But Nate's being tossed, damage being done. Could be a good Riptide Rhythm. Should break open the defenses and Limit finds the opening, on fire with the nade. And then Shoto to tag them as well. That is a 3-way standoff to eliminate Straw Hats.
The enemy of my enemy is definitely my friend for the moment. Falcons, 17 eliminations strong. Trying to quickly reposition Limit, trying to play the flank, but he is going to be chased. On fire. They let go of their high ground advantage to Team Apex Gaming, who looked like it was going to be over for them a tad bit early, but the recovery plays have been phenomenal for this squad. And they want to make this a solid booyah for India once again on this survival stage.
Joker behind enemy lines. Team Apex Gaming already had lost Shoto, but KD God puts him down. That's Team Apex Gaming after losing Shoto, still holding their front. And now they have an opportunity. We spoke about Falcon cementing it, but 7 eliminations and a dash coming in from Pina. Puts Wolvin also down. Sahil Jad, the last one standing. Falcon's intention clear with Pina going all aggression for this booyah.
Back-to-back booyah for your champions of the EWC24. Free Fire was dominated on the grand finals by this one team. They set the record back then in terms of eliminations, in terms of total points in the grand finals. And they broke their own record last year. They haven't set a brand new one for themselves just yet, but maybe they're waiting for yet another grand finals run to do that. And if they keep this up, they'll be one of the top 4 teams that makes it in there to have an opportunity for exactly that.
Yep. This is their opportunity. The very first season, they were the champs. EWC24, and after that, did not manage to get the best results out. Falcons Pina, you could see how brilliant his push was, and let's hear how he made it happen.
Rất là khỏe. Tôi. Cô là khai. Khỏe. Tay đau không? Đang. Được khai. Thái là mừng. Ui, một tay khó mừng nghĩ giờ đi mừng ớt. Bây giờ đi. Mày gì hoa cu để đi chứ phải đấy.
And if you look at what Team Apex Gaming was able to do in this match is show us a fairly good comeback, right? After getting just one placement point in Bermuda in the previous game, they have managed to get into that final circle. So although they don't walk away with a booyah, although they don't walk away with a massive game with eliminations, this is the kind of recovery we want to see out of a team that's very much capable of making it into the grand finals. But of course, Falcons, 33 monstrous points picked up here through the 21 eliminations and the booyah, and Lions still staying alive and kicking for LATAM.
Oh yeah, I think Lions still has an opportunity. If Team Falcons were taken down, maybe Lions made a push towards the top 4, could have been an opening. But unfortunately, their movement itself inside the compound, if they could have held off, because we saw they were against Team Apex Gaming, and if they did take that fight, they would have an opportunity. Rather, they moved directly towards the compound of Falcons, not even Straw Hats, and from there, they started losing their numbers. But you have to give it to Falcons, right? We've been seeing them since day one, not the best performance, and that is the reason they're here in the survival stage. We saw Limit barely performing, but today, Limit's performing, Pina is performing, and everybody doing brilliant stuff. And to hear this, we have a studio ready. Let's send it over.